present here. Let me start this last session of the BTech first year orientation program with the famous quote by Professor Eleanor Roosevelt: "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." Myself, Dr. Darshak Trivedi, presently working as a professor and head of the Department of Chemistry, and it's honor to stand before you today for the significant event that is the final day of our BTech orientation program, which began on 19th August 2024. On behalf of entire team, I extend a warm welcome to everyone present here, our esteemed director, Professor B. Ravi, respected deans, dedicated faculty members, enthusiastic BTech 2024 admit students, hardworking officials, and non-teaching staff. Our director, Professor B. Ravi, has been a beacon of vision and leadership for our institute. His guidance has shaped our institute into a place of learning, growth, and innovation. We are truly grateful for his guidance and support. We are also honored to have our deans, whose dedication to excellence in education is inspiring. Their tireless efforts ensures that our academic program meet the highest standards. It's my pleasure to extend a warm welcome to all our today's resource person, Professor Ritanjali Manji from School of Humanities, Social Science and Management, Professor M.N. Satyanarayanan from Department of Physics, Professor Rizwan Rahman from Department of Metallurgical and Materials Engineering, Professor B. Dastagiri Reddy from Department of Electrical Engineering, Professor U. Prithviraj, Department of Water Resources and Ocean Engineering, Professor Abhilash Singh from Mechanical Engineering, Professor Jagannath Nayak, Chief Vigilance Officer of our institute, Professor A.C. Hegde, Dean Students Welfare, and Professor Pushparaj Shetty, the Professor in charge of Hostel Affairs, who have graciously taken their time out of their busy schedule to join us with today. We are grateful for their willingness to share their expertise and insights with us, and we are looking forward for an enriching and informative sessions ahead. Today is the final day of a BTech orientation program, and here is the most interesting session with a theme of interdisciplinary science and technology. I am confident that this engaging discussion will stimulate your mind, sparking innovative thoughts, and provide a valuable insights to good laboratory practices, safety precautions, and sophisticated instruments which will shape and influence your future in terms of your cornerstone projects, mini projects, and major projects, and many more. My dear students, this is your moment. The path ahead will be filled with challenges and opportunities, but remember, every great journey begins with a single step. Embrace the every experience and make the most of this time. With this opening remarks, I would like to start our today's session, and our today's first speaker is Professor M.N. Satyanarayanan from Department of Physics, who is an active researcher in the field of material science, and to be specific, photoluminescence materials and OLED device fabrication. May I request Professor M.N. Satyanarayanan to please take over the stage and deliver the talk. Over to you, sir.
On. Good morning to all of you. Am I audible to everyone? Okay, so first of all, my heartiest congratulations to the new entrants, new family members of NITK family. Congratulations to all of you for succeeding through one of the most difficult exams in the country and being a part of our institute. So as Professor Darshak just said, that I belong to physics department, and my area of research happens to be photonics, which essentially is the interaction of matter and light. And it's a very exciting area, and I've been working in this area for the last 20, 30 years or so. Now, today, I'm going to talk to you about fabrication of nanostructures. Nano is a buzzword nowadays. In almost every institute, there is something happening in nanotechnology, nanoscience, and many universities started degree programs based on this. But I'll tell you nanostructures from the point of view of what I am doing for research. So let me begin this session with a question. What is the tiniest dimension that our human eye, a normal, good human eye with a 6x6 vision, what's the tiniest dimension I can see? Any idea? Sorry? Yes, let's say about 0.1 millimeters. That's about 100 microns. Anything less than that, human eye cannot see. So how do you see anything that is less than 100 microns? What kind of microscope do you have to use? Probably in your biology lab, in your school, you might have used a compound microscope to see maybe onion peel cells and things like that. Okay? What is the limit? What's the smallest thing you can see with an optical microscope? To see anything using light, the dimension of that object must be at least of the wavelength of light, on the order of that. Okay? Wavelength of light is about, let's say, 0.4 nanometers, 0.4 micrometers to 0.6 micrometers, the visible region. And so if I want to see anything of that dimension, I can use an optical microscope. But if I want to see something smaller than that, then I cannot use an optical microscope. So you have fancy microscopes like what you probably might have seen in the CRF, the Central Research Facility. Probably many of you by now would have visited the Central Research Facility. We have what are called as electron microscopes. And 2 of them we have on our campus. This is what we use to study nanostructures. Okay, so anything that's tinier than a micron cannot be seen by optical microscope. You'll have to get down to electron microscope. So materials at various dimensions. I'm going to show you a picture of what we call as macroscopic objects. These are things which we can see with our eye. But what we're looking at are nanomaterials. Nano is 10 to the minus 9. So nanosecond is 10 to the minus 9 seconds. Nanometer is 10 to the minus 9 meters. We're talking about materials which are of that dimension. So some of the examples are these: the gold nanoparticle, water molecule, carbon nanotube, benzene, so on and so forth. These are nanomaterials. So how do we classify, how do we define what a nanomaterial is? Any material whose at least one dimension is in the order of a nanometer or a few nanometers is defined as a nanomaterial. So it could be a nanosheet. It's a two-dimensional material with thickness being of the order of nanometers. It could be a nanowire, which is a one-dimensional material with a thickness of a few nanometers. It could be a zero-dimensional material, a quantum, a nano, let's say a nanodot, okay, a quantum dot or something like that. So these are various kinds of nanomaterials that we have. A nanomaterial may have a group of maybe hundreds of atoms together. Okay, so that's essentially what nanomaterial is. Now this is a truly interdisciplinary area. What is exciting about this is people from different disciplines can come in and contribute. I'm going to show you a figure where different departments can interact together and come up with solutions which can have a great impact on technology in coming years. For example, people from electronics and communication engineering. Several years back, maybe 50, 60 years back, we had macroelectronics. Okay, we had circuits which were big in size, and they were very inefficient in terms of power usage and utility and other things. With the advent of semiconductor technology came microelectronics. Now things could be scaled down to miniaturize to a smaller dimension, and the circuits became much more efficient in terms of functionality, in terms of power management, and so on and so forth. You might probably recall, okay, probably people who are not born, but when the cell phones were introduced in India, they were bulky. Okay, not only they were bulky, you had to charge them almost on a daily basis. This is because the circuitry inside was extremely inefficient in terms of power usage. With the advancement in semiconductor technology, came in miniaturization, came in circuits which are more powerful, much smaller than the existing circuit, and could do a complex functionality. Now you can see the cell phones that you hold in your hands are so compact and so power efficient. Probably you don't have to power it up every day. Okay? So that's the power of miniaturizing things. So the question is, how small can we get? The thing is, if I go from micro to nano, something different begins to happen. Materials begin to behave a bit differently when you scale down from micro level to nano level, and we will see why that should happen. So for example, if somebody from electronics background designs a nanoelectronic circuit, it might be of great use to a computer science and IT person. Data storage and information technology will definitely benefit from nanotechnology, nanoelectronics. People from chemistry and physics generally study the properties of nanomaterials. We synthesize nanomaterials, we study the properties of nanomaterials, and we talk to engineers to commercialize this in the form of devices. Okay? So this is where science and engineering meet together, and one can talk about bringing out devices which will be of immediate use in future. Biology, people also benefit from nanotechnology. Biosensors. Okay? A sensor is any device that can sense an analyte that you want to measure and produces a signal which can be measured. Okay, so it sort of detects the analyte and produces a signal. So that's a sensor. A biosensor is a sensor that senses biomolecules, probably proteins, enzymes, and so on and so forth. So nanotechnology also makes its mark in biology. Medicine, you might have probably heard about targeted drug delivery, right? So you have, gold nanoparticles are very commonly used, and you deliver the drug to the. See, when you fall sick, you're given medicine. This medicine is going to impact your entire body. Suppose somebody is getting treated for cancer. Okay, so any medication that you take for cancer is going to kill also good cells, apart from targeting the cancerous cells. So in order to target only the cancer cells, okay, I can use nanoparticles, and drug can be delivered to the affected portion while leaving the other tissues unaffected. That's of great use to mankind. Material science and engineering, again, there are people who work on, my colleague Dr. Rizwan would be very soon talking to you about quantum dots, and I and he work very closely together. Okay? Mechanical and civil engineering people also benefit. Nanocomposites are materials that people can look into and are of great importance in mechanical as well as civil engineering. So in a nutshell, nanotechnology uses people from different disciplines. So what you must do as fresh entrants to the NITK family is to start making friends across the departments. Don't feel isolated. You must have friends across all the departments. You have 4 years of time to do that. And there are 14 academic departments. And I have friends in almost every department. And I'm very proud about it. I have friends in chemistry. I have friends in engineering disciplines. I have also friends in School of Management and Social Sciences, because someday when you people think of a venture, want to set up something, you will also need somebody to provide you the business model or help you in getting up a business model. So people from management background can help you do that. So it's very important that we closely work together to achieve, see, the problems that are facing the mankind today are very complex, and one person cannot solve the problem. So people from different disciplines are required to solve the problems, and solutions may be possible when we try to do that. Nanomaterials can come in different forms. You can have nanoparticles, as I had told about earlier. You can have nanorods. These are one-dimensional nanomaterials which grow as nanorods or even nanotubes. Okay? And you can have nanosheets, which are 2D materials. For example, graphene is a nanosheet, which is a 2D material. You can think of devices on that. So there is something for, right? So imagine your parents go to a supermarket and they come out with a lot of bags, lots of goodies for everybody. Okay, so you're curious to know when your parents return from a supermarket, what is there for you? And you start looking through the bag, right? So this area is something like there is always something for everyone to benefit, okay, and also to contribute. So I have been having very active collaborations with Department of Chemistry. Professor Darshak and I have guided a PhD together, and we also work on organic light-emitting diodes. I've been having good collaborations with Dr. Rizwan from Metallurgy Department. We've been working on quantum dots and devices based on that. I'm also happy to tell that I have active collaboration with ENC Department. We've been looking at metamaterials and plasmonic devices. So these are something that is possible. So what I'm trying to tell you here is that science and engineering can work together, and then we can definitely come up with solutions for the future. So this is the shopping cart with things for everybody. Okay? So you got to pick up whatever is interesting for you and use it for whatever purpose you want to use it. Now, what is so interesting about matter at tiny levels? On the right-hand side, I'm showing you something which has got to do with the energy levels as you come from bulk material to a single atom. Okay? So let's talk about how many atoms are present in what is a typical atomic density? Can anybody throw some numbers? If I take a piece of solid, a bulk solid, how many atoms do I expect per centimeter cube? Any wild guesses? Okay, typically about 10 to the 22 atoms per centimeter cube. Extremely large number of atoms. Okay? Now imagine each atom you have studied in school consists of discrete energy levels. Okay? So you bring those many atoms together, what happens to those energy levels? You bring two atoms together, the energy levels get modified. You bring 10 to the 22 atoms together, the energy levels would all modify, overlap into what are called as energy bands. And we have metals where these energy bands are continuous, the energy levels are continuous. We also have materials where these energy bands are separated by a certain distance. Mind you, this axis is energy, so those energy bands are separated by certain electron volts of energy. Okay? You come down from metal to semiconductor to a nanoparticle, you notice that as you're coming down in dimensionality, you're reducing the number of atoms. And when you're reducing the number of atoms, you see certain modifications happening in energy levels. Now, these energy levels have become more and more discrete rather than continuous energy levels over there. You go from a nanoparticle to a cluster, to a molecule, to an atom, you keep noticing the discreteness in energy levels. So it is this reduction in the number of energy levels that are available that makes it so interesting, and why material begins to behave very differently at such tiny levels compared to its own bulk form is because of the modifications in the number of energy levels that are present. So modifications of energy levels, we physicists normally talk in terms of density of states, DOS. Okay? And because of the modification in energy levels, which is a consequence of modifications of density of states, drastic changes in physical properties of materials happen. So the optical properties, the electrical properties, the thermal properties, the mechanical properties are all bound to change. Okay? As you go down the dimensionality from a macroscopic, from a bulk material to a nanomaterial. Okay? How low can we go? Can we go lower than nano? Can we go to pico? Why? We're looking at materials here. Materials are made up of atoms. The smallest dimension than that atom is typically a few angstroms, okay? An angstrom. You can't go lower than that, right? So all these properties take a modification because of changes in the electron. So the energy levels modify, the electron density also modifies, because electrons are going to populate those energy levels. Okay, so fewer and fewer electrons will populate those energy levels because number of electrons are now vastly less. Can I now think of devices? Now, device fabrication is not an overnight job. It's not like making a chapati or something like that. Device fabrication is a continuous process where you make a device, you characterize it, you find out whether it meets the target specification or not. You've got to keep modifying this. It's an iterative process till you meet the target specifications. And even then, if you have met the target specifications, you still have to qualify for field deployment. So that device has to undergo what is called as accelerated testing, rigorous testing to ensure that it actually reaches the market. Okay, so there's a long distance to travel before a material qualifies as a device. So I'm going to talk about fabrication of nanostructures. I'm going to give you one slide which is very generic, and then talk about something. Instead of talking about what others have done, I would like to talk about what we are doing in our department. So there are two approaches to making fabrication. One is what is called as the top-down approach. And I'm showing you a small figure over here where you notice that the top is something having gold circles, okay? I call them as mask, okay? And at the bottom, what am I seeing are tiny pillars. These are nanorods. Nanorods typically are of dimensions of, the diameter will be about few nanometers, and the length is about 1 to 100 nanometers, something like that. Okay? So that's a nanorod. And what is a nanorod used for? I'll give you two examples of where we are using nanorods. So this can be machined. So material can be machined from this level to this level, either by doing a direct machining. So we do what is called as laser micromachining, or get on to some fancy equipment called as mask aligner, do a lithography, take it to a clean room, and then do this, what is called as a deep reactive ion etching to create pillars like this. These are tiny pillars. These are just about a nanometer, a few hundreds of nanometers in height. Okay? So I can do this. I can also do a complementary thing. I can start from a material like this and machine it down to things like that. So this is called as top-down approach because I'm starting from a bulk material, machining it down to creating these nanopillars. I can also do what is called as a bottom-up approach. Okay, so you have a precursor solution from which you can grow the nanorods. And very often, which one do you choose depends upon what is the kind of facility that you have. Most of the research labs aren't so well equipped to have equipment such as laser micromachining and lithography equipment. So one can go for solution processing. One can do a hydrothermal synthesis. We can grow nanorods using that as well. So this is some work that we have done in our lab. We have synthesized zinc oxide nanorods. Now, what are these nanorods going to do? Zinc oxide nanorods are excellent electron transporters. And where can I use this? I can use this in any application which requires charge transport to be done. So where did we use it? Supposing I want to make a photodiode. Okay, now how does a photodiode work? Photodiode is a material that absorbs light and then produces charge carriers. Okay, so you're detecting light by producing a current proportional to the light intensity that's falling. So that's what basically a photodiode does. And once you've created the charge carriers and the material, these charge carriers have been transported to the other electrode. How do you transport them efficiently? You use the nanorods to transport them. In the insert, you can see tiny pillars of zinc oxide. Okay, you can see that in the. So what you're seeing is actually straight ahead. Okay, you're seeing the nanorods facing you, and the insert is taken at an angle, so you can see the nanorods at an angle. So this is one example of where I could use nanorods for device fabrication. One of my earliest students, Dr. Ravindra Kiran, who is currently a faculty in Presidency University, Bangalore, had done this work, and we have published in 2019. I can also fabricate nanorods using titanium dioxide. Now here, look at this. What is this? What is the application here is solar cell. So how do I start doing that? I take a substrate. Substrate is anything on which you deposit a film. And I grow titanium dioxide nanorods. So these nanorods are all sticking up from the surface of the substrate. And on top of that, I deposit a cadmium sulfide layer, and then a copper zinc tin sulfide, CZTS, which is a very well-known solar cell material, that is deposited on top of that, and then the device is made. How do the top layer sit on the nanorod? Just like, your toothpaste sits on the bristles of the toothbrush. Just like that, this would sit on the top of the nanorods. And then you make the complete device and make a solar cell out of this. We did not have this facility in our institute, so we collaborated with IISc Bangalore in SENSE. And I had the fortune of having a student who registered here for PhD, who was actually an employee of SENSE. And we could fabricate the solar cell and show the solar cell action using titanium dioxide nanorods. This also requires material processing in clean rooms. Clean rooms are expensive to maintain, and very few institutes in our country have clean rooms. I had the fortune of working in clean rooms in South Korea as well as in US. When I was working for startups in US, I had a lot of experience in clean rooms. So it's a complete education in itself. One of the last things I want to point out before I complete the lecture is a very interesting area called metasurfaces. Now, metasurfaces are a two-dimensional surface of what are called as metamaterials. Metamaterials are materials which are actually engineered. These materials are not present in nature, but you take a material and engineer it to produce what is called as a metamaterial. So these surfaces are not natural surfaces. They are machined surfaces. They are surfaces which are processed to achieve a certain goal. So what you're seeing here is a material called as indium antimonide, in which I have made circular rings. These are actually circular rings, and these are empty rings, okay? You can fill anything into that ring, and you can detect whatever you want to detect. So these are metasurfaces, and they can do a variety of things for me. Some of these examples I'm listing out here. Metasurfaces, the beauty of this is, for example, let us take holography. Okay, I'll not discuss everything over here, but only maybe one or two of those pictures for the lack of time. So holography is a technique by which I record a three-dimensional image. Okay, imagine when you go to a photo studio and take a photograph, it's basically a two-dimensional representation of yourself. Okay, so there's only amplitude distribution on the photo. There is no information on the face. Okay, a hologram, on the other hand, has both amplitude information and the phase information of the wavefront that is creating it. Okay, so what do you need to develop a hologram? I need an elaborate setup. I need a laser. I need what is called as a vibration isolation table. And in the room they're recording a hologram, you can't even whisper. Because what is happening is your laser will be split into two beams. One will light up the image that you want, the object that you want to image, and the other beam is called as reference beam. Both the beams are allowed to interfere on a holographic plate, and you record a hologram with that. And then you view the hologram, you need another laser, which is called as a reading laser, and you can see the three-dimensional picture of whatever you have recorded. Way back in 1991, when I did my MSc, we had recorded a small horse. Okay, it was a small horse in the form of an idol, and we recorded a hologram of that. And when you actually see you use a reading laser and see the hologram, you can actually see the horse in 3 dimensions. It's because it's not just amplitude, but also phase information present at every point on the hologram. But supposing I want to make a hologram, so this holography thing is a very bulky stuff, and people simplified this by using what is called as computer-generated holograms. Computer-generated holograms are basically complex programs that generate holographic pattern, and then when you can create images using this holographic pattern. I can do the same thing using a metasurface, and this is becoming very interesting nowadays. Okay? There is something called as metastate. Let me talk about this metasurface cloaking. What is cloaking is to hide something. How do you cloak anything is, okay, before we go to cloaking, let me ask you a question. How do I see anything? How do I see you is because light falls on you and gets scattered and reaches my eye. That's how I see you. But imagine a situation where light falls on you and the scattering intensity is made 0 by some special engineering on you. I cannot see you then because light doesn't get scattered to my eyes. So you become hidden to me. So I can engineer a surface such that the scattered light intensity from that surface is 0. When light falls on that, the scattered light is 0. So I can hide that object. Where do I use this in stealth bombers, for example? I don't want something to be detected by a radar, so I can always have a special coating on that object which I want to hide, and this is what is called as optical cloaking. This can be done using metasurfaces. Metasurfaces has interesting applications in various areas. So if you're interested, I've just given the reference over there. This will be available to you. You can always look up the reference and learn more about it. For the lack of time, I'm not going to go further. We did some work on what is called as metasurface absorber. Okay, now this is a structure like this. We did simulation. We did not do any fabrication yet because of lack of facilities in the country. We wanted a facility which will do a laser micromachining, but across the country, all the facilities were down for some reason. And so we could not fabricate this, but the simulated result shows that under certain conditions, you can have absorption of electromagnetic radiation falling on such a surface. So the radiation doesn't get reflected. Radiation at certain frequencies get absorbed. And at what frequency that it gets absorbed depends upon how I have designed the whole thing. Okay, this structure has to be designed for a certain frequency. And those frequencies, I can have absorption of incoming radiation. So this was done at terahertz wavelength. So terahertz is an electromagnetic region which is, I think, somewhere between microwave and millimeter wave. It's a relatively unexplored region which people are trying to now build sources and detectors and components which can work in terahertz. So we did some work on that, and recently we had published a paper pertaining to this. So I'm just going to wrap up now. So what are the key takeaways? Key takeaways are nanofabrication involves manipulating materials at nanometer scale lengths. Drastic changes in electron densities at low dimension brings about very interesting changes in their physical properties, which are vastly different from what they would be when they were in bulk. Opens up new areas of research and potentially new devices. It is still the research stage, nothing has reached commercial, but then efforts are on to bring commercial applications, which probably take about another 10 years or 15 years to actually hit the market and before we start deriving full benefit of it. That's my contact details. I sit in the science block, south end of the science block, very close to the food court, so throughout the day I get good smell in my office. And that's my email address, and that's my LinkedIn profile in case you're interested. That's all I had to share in the 10 minutes, 15 minutes slot. Any questions? Okay, if you have no questions, of course you have 4 years of time and you have my contact. You can always come and ask me questions whenever you want. So let me thank you for your patient hearing. I'll conclude here.
Thank you, sir, for your enlightening talk about creating the nanostructures and how the nanoscience and nanotechnology can be the field of interdisciplinary research. I request Professor Ritanjali Maji to hand over the Memento to Professor M.N. Satyanarayan, sir.
Actually, that is 3 device I cannot carry my DAD.
Yeah. I request students to please take a seat, and this is the last and most interesting session of BTech orientation. Our next speaker is Professor Ritanjali Maji from the School of Humanities, Social Science and Management. She is an active researcher in the field of AI usage in the marketing strategies. And the title of her talk is Sustainable Agriculture and Circular Economy. I request Professor Ritanjali Maji to deliver a talk, and I request all the speakers to please stick to the timings. Over to you, madam.
Yeah, thank you so much, Professor Dakshak Trivedi. So good morning, students. So today I'm going to give a short talk regarding this particular topic. So I just try to make it simpler to make you understand. So before I'll start talking about the topic, let me introduce a bit about me. So I'm Professor Ritanjali and belongs to School of Social Science, Humanities and Management. So my area of research is AI and ML, artificial intelligence and machine learning, applications to management, then health analytics, social science, and recently I'm working on agricultural field along with my other colleagues. So today's title of my presentation is Farming 2.0, turning dirt into dollars. So it is not about making money, and then why I have chosen this particular title, let me tell you. So before joining into academic, actually I was working in JP Morgan, right? And of course into the area of financial management where we apply artificial intelligence and machine learning and getting a lot of money. But through that company and during my PhD when I was working in UK, so I got a chance to have certain kind of interactions with the farmers and few of my research which I have gone through. And that really motivated me to go to the ground level and do something for them. Because when you do develop these AI models, ML models for financial market or to understand consumer behavior, so those are two different aspects. So financial market is one aspect and understanding consumer behavior the other aspect. But let me tell you, when you work for the farmers, that is totally different. We simply sitting in the AC room, we could never work for the farmers. And we face a lot of challenges, and along with my colleagues, Professor Pradyojana, he really visited to many of the survey area. Even I have seen few of the survey area. It is so challenging because there we really go to the level and collect data from the farmers. We saw their economic conditions, their social status, and particularly such a vast country like India, and where we are talking about the farming, that is the backbone of our country. So as all of you are engineers, so my appeal to you that you should really think about that and start your innovation from the soil and try to do something for them, right? So let's see this particular Yeah, so can you see this particular slide? Yeah. So this is something I am trying to tell you guys. See, the farmers are the farmers, particularly the Indian farmers. They are not having any kind of exposure. Okay, they're not having any kind of social community. They're not having any exposure to technology. So in the era of farming 2.0, when I'm trying to talk about 2.0, so why I say about 2.0? Because it is a conditions where technology interfere with social innovation, right? So we need to give certain kind of smart society to them to do the better crop yielding. So without the technological innovations, it is not possible. So I have seen many of the countries like Argentina, France, and even in Brazil, many of the countries, they are really using this circular economy. So just to make you understand what is circular economy, so it is a process of model starting from the consumptions, starting from the productions to consumptions, where we try to reduce, okay, the waste, right? Even during the process of recycling and reusing, we try to reduce the waste. So that is something is circular economy, and which was actually used in many part of developed country widely, and they are success and increase, the yield for the field, and it changes the farmers' social economic conditions too. So one of my projects where we're working to evaluate the farmers' conditions where this robotics used for farming. So that is particularly in the area of UK, United States, what we observed, they use this drone and the robots to pluck the strawberries, okay, from the field. And it is such an efficient way, you know. So that particular robotic AI sensor giving signal to farmer and giving information which particular foods need to be taken from the field and which should be there. Because when they do it manually, it is very difficult for them, right? And the whole process, they destroy the whole crop, whatever they deal. So this is a way by which they can do it more efficiently, actually. So this particular slide is telling you, can you just imagine the engineer milking a farm for a cow, so in a more sustainable and the technological approachable way. So the answer is yes, you can do. And when you talk about the circular economic and farming, so you can, there are many challenges and you can change it with the help of this technological intervention. So what is the real life situations of the farmers, if you see in the present era? So they really work hard, all of you know, to feed us. And as a return, they get very less money, okay? So which I can say to the rate of potato, just like potato. You can understand what exactly I mean. So there are challenges, particularly in Indian farming system, right? So we thought of this circular economy by using this technology. We can really change this farming business in India. So it is something we calculate circular economic. We assume that something which will go again should come back to you. That is something reuse and renovate, okay? So that is something we want to do in farming. So nowadays, particularly in India, if you try to understand where we have the challenges to implement the circular economy. So first I can say in the case of government policies, then of course in the cases of technology, we're having poor technology, and then the community smart, the informations whichever we are providing the farmers, those are quite negligible. So country like India, if you try to understand, there are so many middlemen are there between the farmers and the buyer, right? And when these middlemen are interfering between the farmers and the buyer, the real cost what the farmers are getting is very negligible. And that is impacting the way of they're adapting the technology, the way they look their health, their economic conditions, right? So they are not able to come up with their status. So as a developed society and being we are having so many technical institutions, can you think where our calculus could be used to protect tomatoes? So the question is here, which I want to ask you students. Can you intervene using our technology where we can have the sustainable agriculture way where we can save tomatoes? The meaning what I want to deliberate you here is that there are certain circular economic way where we can really save a tomato. You know, when a farmer is cultivating the tomatoes, even out of the tomato, when we are getting the waste, we can compost that, use for the fertilizer. We can preserve the seeds of tomatoes, and you can prepare the byproducts out of that. Even the peel of the tomato could be used for the other purpose. And the farmers can get much more benefit out of the single tomatoes, whatever they're cultivating the farms. So that is what actually I want to say. And that is not possible without the interventions of technology, right? And then when we talk about the technology, now how it can help the farmers. So if you guys can think in that direction, then at least our Indian farmers could able to afford a AC tractor, okay? What they really deserve. And how could you do that? So, sorry. So nowadays we are talking about these drones or Internet of Things, right? We are so much exposed to the social medias, different kind of social medias. So using that, actually, we can help these farmers. So I'm not saying at present it is not there. It is there. But actually, if you look into the all segment of farmers, they don't have these informations. Neither they know how to use it, right? So here we need to act very smartly. Along with the engineers, we the social workers, we the social smarts should come together and provide this information to farmers. So let me tell you one example of one of the farmer from Karnataka. So who has used the drone in his field and try to understand the crop yield in the field. So in the particular time, from the information collected from the drone, he is able to find out which particular crop need watering and which is not. So by adapting this particular method, actually in one season, he able to derive nearly 30% profit. So which is not a small amount. So you could understand that interventions of technology can really take this farmer's life in a long way, right? Similarly, there is another case which I came across is the use of mobile apps. So using these mobile apps, even in the Karnataka, we have seen the farmers, they try to find out the actual price which is going for the crop in the market. Because many of the people are really, they don't have these informations, let me tell you, right? And in the same time, even there are so many middlemen who play large role and give very less money to them. And then don't have access to the market. They don't have resources. They don't have the knowledge what the peers are doing. So with the help of this mobile phone app, now the farmers are really changing their lifestyle. They're changing the way they do farming and many more, right? So of course, when we talk about circular economy in the field of agriculture, so it is something like impossible, which you can see in this particular image. Like we are talking about growing a plant out of the concrete, right? But of course, engineers are engineers. You can do anything, which I believe. But one thing you remember where engineers stop, management start there. So you guys have to come up with your innovation product, and it is our duty to sell that product in the market, give informations. So there I play, actually, people like me play a crucial role to give informations. So let me tell you a few of our work project. We work for the circular economic and agriculture. So basically, we work few of the project for smart agriculture, climate smart agriculture, precision agriculture. And now I am handling this circular economic agriculture. So basically what we are doing here, so we are trying to incorporate data from all kind of stakeholder. You can say the retailer, the wholesaler, the government employees, the farmers, okay, and the engineers, and of course the social smarts. So together we are trying to collect data from them, and we are in a process of developing a mobile app. Okay, and the mobile app presently which is available, which I come to know, it is only giving the informations about very few factors. So we are thinking to incorporate so many different factors, considering all the stakeholders, and in that way, even the society will get benefit, the municipal corporation will be getting benefit, the retailers are going to get benefit, the wholesalers will be going to get benefit, the farmers also going to be getting the benefit. And that we are doing by collecting, surveying the farmers, and of course all the different stakeholders. So this is one of the live projects where we're working for Karnataka and Maharashtra. For the Karnataka, we are working for areca nut and millets, and for Maharashtra, we are working for the millets. So initially, we started with these few products, and as we go on in our research, we'll try to see what are the other things that we can incorporate for the circular economy, because initially, we are thinking these are the few of the crop which are actually grown highly by the farmers, might be in point of profit in the region of Karnataka and the Maharashtra. And as you know, in the today era, people are talking about the sustainability, and they're talking about to use of organical product and something like millet era, right? So that's why focusing only this kind of productions as of now, and trying to come up with this kind of, mobile app, collecting different data. And in side of engineering, what actually we are trying to do, yeah, so we talk to a few of the startups, those who are working in the area of farming, agroforestry, and adapting these agri startups. So how they are bringing technology to this particular field. So we try to find out that they are using the drones, then solar energy, right, to help the farmers, right? So which I observed that from the technical point of view, so we advise the farmers to use the use water from the cities and the urbans, and that can be reused, retreated, and can use in farming and can give efficient yield to the farmers. And similarly, all the bio-waste could be used for the composting, right? So these are the different way. Actually, you can enhance the productivity and enhance the economic status of the farmers. So this is one of the projects. Apart from that, also we work for the climate change and sustainable agriculture, which are demand of the present era. So these are the few things actually we are working upon. And apart from that, we also seeing the community side to develop the farmer's life, where we talk about their health. Okay, so we are using data analytics for better farming and better health management for the farmers, right? So, and particularly for our project, we are giving importance to, in many of the rural villages of India, we are seeing there are so many women farmers are there, right? So we are trying to improve their health conditions so that they can work better. So that is from our community side, where we are using this AI or ML technology, or we are using the data analytics to improve their lifestyles so they can do the better farming. So if all this technology, either you say artificial intelligence or interference of IoT, or you can say all the social media, or you can say about smart farming way or the precision agriculture, we can really implement to the field, then definitely by another 20 years, we can really come up with a revolutions kind of stage where our farmers can contribute really in a better way to our society and also can increase their self-status, right? So now I can say this is the high time the students like you or the professors like us or the researchers like us should come together. So I request you, if you really want to change the society, you should start working from the soil, because sitting in the AC room and discussing like this, we can never change the country's future. So if you really want to do it, let's think about that. I can suggest you, few of your students can come forward and think of coming of a startup in the area of entrepreneurships, in the area of agribusiness, in the area of helping the agricultural field, or maybe many more. Even we need to work for the health and community informations and developing value chains. So what I observe particularly, if you talk about the agricultural field, so maximum amount of food we are wasting during the supply chain system. So because we don't have a proper cold storage system, so we need to improve that too. So there are so many areas which I told you just now. It could be supply chain system, it could be the storage system, it could be precision agriculture, it could be derived with the smart climate change, or it could be anything else. So in all the field, you can use these IoT, robotics, drones, right, for using the wastewaters, treatment to agricultures, and many more can be used. So I request you people can think in these directions. You can take this kind of projects, whether you belong to mechanical engineering or IT or computer science or any of the field of engineering, along with some of the professors from social science or humanities and management, and you can work together where we can really come up with a better picture, because only technology cannot really solve the problem here. Because you need to understand from the human point of view also. So a social touch is needed here, right? So working together, we can always solve the social problem. So without taking much time, I just conclude here. Thank you very much. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Thank you. So do you have any questions? Because we're having only 10 minutes time, so I really don't want to take more time. So the overall idea is I wanted to say or share with you is that how could being an engineer, you can participate with this kind of community development and can help and work for the betterment of society. So any questions? Yeah. Because earlier I remember few guys from mechanical department and few from electronics department, they do work with me. Okay, some of them work for health analytics and few of them work for agricultural analytics. So that can be done, but you need to take the consent from your parents' department. And then you can have a professor from your department, and then you can take somebody, because we're having many faculty in our department. You can browse the website and see their research area. And if you feel something is interesting, you can always approach them. And if you want to approach me or want to write a mail to me, here is my contact details are given. So you can write to me, you can connect me through LinkedIn, or you can message me. You feel free to discuss your area of interest. Yeah, you can do that. And in fact, that is a very good idea. You should do that. Because only developing a product technically is not going to help the society. Right? You need to understand the customers. You need to understand the people that you involve for it. Yeah. Any other question for me? So thank you so much. So thanks for giving me this opportunity, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, madam, for your insightful talk on the circular economy and how ML and AI can contribute to the betterment of human being and world around. I request Professor Abhilash Singh to hand over the Memento to Professor Ritanjali Maji.
So I am in time?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Professor Abhilash Singh from Department of Mechanical Engineering, and he will be talking about the materials for defense applications. I request Professor Abhilash Singh to take over the...
Thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to NITK. I'm Abhilash Singh, working as assistant professor in Mechanical Engineering Department. So today, I will going to talk about the role of engineering in defense and national security. We will discuss about how the engineering advancement has changed the world war and how we can contribute to our nation in national security. So first of all, I'm not going to talk about in deep. It will be as an overview talk. And I will start from this slide only. Maybe you have seen this picture in your recent news. Okay, so this is basically INS Arighat second nuclear submarine. It is basically indigenous submarine. And last Thursday, it has become an integral part of our Indian Navy. So I thought this is a motivational picture for you people, you young buddy engineers, to work upon it. Okay, so I come with this slides. So, So before going in detail, first we should know about what is war and defense. So war is basically the conflict between, a state of conflict between two nations using armies and weapons. And if you talk about the defense is deals with the strategies and the weapons, or you can say instrument that going to protect against the attack. Okay. So now, if you talk about the ancient war,
In ancient war, we were having, soldiers were using these type of weapons, like bow and arrow, sword, spear. If we talk about protection gear, they are wearing body armor that is basically made of leather material. Second, steel helmets. That next one is a shield. But due to advancement of engineering, now the war has completely changed. I'm talking about the modern war. Okay. So now in modern war, the ancient weapon has completely changed by the modern weapons. That is gun, missiles, hand grenade, right? And if you again, in that side, if we talk about the defense side, so now we can see our soldiers are wearing bulletproof jacket, helmet, they are having anti-missile system and the drones for surveillances. So now, just because of you people, you young buddy engineers, we are able to transform ancient war into the modern war. Next, now, we can, the last year, like year 2023, was named as the year of transformation for the Indian Army. So that's why I'm going to discuss about some recent advancement engineering which is done in India. So the first one is Arjun tank. So maybe you have seen this one and earlier in news or maybe in a magazine. So it is designed for the Indian Army in 2019. It is having the carrying capacity of 60 ton with the maximum speed of 58 kilometer per hour. The second one is our Tejas Mk1 fighter jet. This is also an indigenous fighter jet designed for the Indian Air Force, developed by the HAL, that is Hindustan Aeronautical Limited. And it is having the high velocity of 2,205 meter per second. Okay, the next one is our ballistic missile defense system. This one is tested recently in 2024, and it is having the range of 5,000 kilometer. So it is a anti-missile system that is now built up by the you people, we can say, like by engineers. Next one is INS Vikrant. It was now become the integral part of Indian Navy. It is having the length of 262 meter, width with 62 meter, and having the height of 58 meter. So it can carry the our aeroplane with this one. Easily, a flight can take land and take over from here only. Now, next one. Being an engineer, how we can contribute to our national security. So how we can support our soldiers. So in that, we can talk about, we can provide some, we can design some protective wear so our soldiers can have a less injury. So here, we are showing two videos that is taken by me during my PhD, and the second one is when I was working in DRDO. So these are video. Here you can see the interaction of bullet fired by the AK-47. Okay, see how the energy is going to transform from here to here. Okay, so here we can check the deflection of the neck and energy. And this is your Patka helmet. Okay, this is the new helmet. Those are our soldiers are going to wear during the war. The second one is shock tube. This is basically control environment by which we can generate the blast. Blast means shock wave, okay? So with the help of shock tube, we can generate the blast or shock wave, and we can get the data. By getting those data, we can design good protective wear for our soldiers. This is the example of that things, like our research, we can say. Like IIT Delhi having designed and developed the world's lightest bulletproof jacket. Okay, so this is just because of you engineers. Now, next one, by providing assistant devices to soldiers, we can help them. So the first one is night vision goggles. So these are the goggles that are going to enhance the vision to our soldiers in a dark area, or you can say in a light area. Drone system. Drone system is basically unmanned aerial vehicle that is going to use for inspection, surveillance, and they are going to help our combat during the war. This is the latest one, that is your exoskeleton. The one project is going on in DRDO. So this is a one wearable device. If the soldier is going to wear this device, it will have a high, it will enhance the capability of the soldiers and the endurance limit also. Now, next, what looks at India as the pillar of innovation and stability. So how we can contribute, being as an engineer, how we can contribute in this one. So if you are mechanical engineer, so you can design, develop, test the army weapons, tank, and missiles, right? The second one, if you are civil engineer, you can build the bunkers, good bunkers, that can protect our soldiers. You can build the road in a war region. So that is the application of a civil engineer in a defense sector. The next one is electrical engineer. Yeah, this is also important thing. You know, electrical engineer can work, develop the communication system. They can develop the radar system. And next one is material science engineer. If you are material science engineer, you can come with the lightest material with high strength. So we can protect our soldiers. We can develop a new armor for our soldiers as well as our army vehicles. If suppose you are computer engineers having a large application. First, we have to secure the data. You know, if someone, other nation is going to cyber attack on that data, so computer engineers can help in that one. They can build a system. No one can get the data from our armies. And they can also develop AI and ML model for automatic vehicle, okay? So like robotics and drone system. If suppose you are chemical engineer, so you can come with the new advanced explosion chemicals that can help to get a good weapons for the Indian soldiers. So remember one thing, if you build separately, you can solve a simple problem that may be related to your stream problem. But if you want to solve a big problem, if you want to produce an impact on the society, if you want to contribute to the Indian nation, you have to work together. You have to work as a team. So if you are working in a project that is having all engineers, means mechanical, civil, electrical, computer science, and physics and chemical, then you can come with a proper solution. You can solve the complex problem. So remember one thing, try to work in a complex problem as a team, not as an individual, okay? So this is all about my presentation. So I request you, please work together as a team, then you will solve the complex problem. You will make an impact on the society. You will make you contribute to the Indian nation. Okay, if we can talk about my research, so I'm working on brain biomechanics, means how we can protect our soldiers during impact, blast, and ballistic loading. Okay, so what is impact? If suppose something is hitting to your head, that is your impact loading. The second, ballistic, if bullet is going to hit your head, that is your ballistic loading. Okay, the third one is a blast loading. If suppose in warhead, if suppose blast is happened, how wave is going to interact with the human body, with soldiers, that is coming into the blast loading. So my research is how we can protect our soldiers, our human society with these during these loading. Okay, recently I developed anti-rotational pads for helmets that I got the grant recently, like last month. So if anyone want to work for the soldiers, I'm having few projects. I'm working on that. Excuse me. You can contact me. I'm sitting in a mechanical engineering department in 3rd floor. Thank you. If you are having any question, I'm here for you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful talk on the defense technology and how the young minds can contribute at Team NITK. I request Professor Rizwan Rahman, Department of Metallurgical and Material Science, to hand over the Memento to Professor Abhilash Singh. Our next speaker is Professor Rizwanur Rahman, Faculty of Department of Metallurgical and Materials Engineering. Professor Rahman will be talking about the wonders of graphene of quantum dots. I request Professor Rahman to deliver a talk. Over to you, sir.
A very good morning to all of you. Myself, Dr. Rizwanur Rahman, and I'm an associate professor in the Department of Metallurgical and Materials Engineering. So today I'm going to give you a glimpse of how important this material is. As you may aware of a material called graphene, which is one of the building blocks of many carbon nanostructures. Okay, so among these different carbon nanostructures, let's look at the dimension of these graphene quantum dots. Okay, so your football size is of the order of 22 centimeter. Your flea 1 mm, red blood cell is 7 micrometer onwards, and your virus is 150 nanometer. And the word nanometer, I think you people have very well aware of, because of this word is used many places on daily by daily common languages. So it is a 10 to the power minus 9 meter. But as you look at the graphene quantum dot here, this dimension is not more than 1 to 10 nanometer. Okay? So in reality, how it look like under the microscope, this is one of my work where graphene quantum dots looks like of each black dots you are seeing here is your graphene quantum dots, and their average dimension is 4.1 to 0.7 nanometer. Now the question is, why you want such a small material? What exactly we can do? Okay, we can do many things, but one of the simple and important thing I would like to show it to you, that this material has a very specific property which says that as your particle size increases from a smaller to larger size, its light emitting ability changes. It can emit from blue, which is near UV, and red, near infrared. And after that, you will enter into the infrared region. So this material can have, ability to emit different type of lights based on its size. This is one of the very unique property of any quantum dots, and specifically why graphene quantum dot that I'm going to talk. Okay? So, graphene quantum dots are having at least 6 common property based on which applications varies. So, it shows the biocompatibility and low toxicity. As a result, what you can get, you can do drug delivery, bioimaging, cancer detection, cancer treatment, wound healing, and antibacterial application. There you can apply your graphene quantum dots to do these kind of biological application. Then it shows the photostability, which means that you can use the same material as a solar cell, photocatalyst, photodiode. Okay? Tunable property, light emitting diodes. These days, you people are seeing in various shopping markets where the big commercial TVs are available. They say that quantum dots LEDs. Samsung, Sony's, they are using these kind of material to make such a big commercial TVs. Optoelectronic devices or detectors. Then again, excellent dispersibility means it can disperse in various type of solvent because it contains many other oxygen-based functional groups, I can say that, means OH, COOH, like that, these are the different groups are attached in this graphene quantum dot. As a result, it can be used as a bioimaging where you can inject these graphene quantum dot inside the body of human or as well as animal, and you can detect a particular area where you wanted to detect. Biosensors and targeted drug delivery. It shows the easy surface grafting. As a result, you can use in a solid energy storage devices. Then, as a result of quantum confinement and edge effect, this is one of the important aspect of any quantum dot. The question is why you need a quantum dot is exactly what you wanted to do is you wanted to confine the electron in all 3 dimensions. As a result, you are saying that, okay, this material which is of such a small size, I will say it is a quantum dot. And as a result, you can make this material or you can use these materials as a very exotic application such as single electron transistor, single photon detection, and quantum computer as a qubit. You can use it. So I will again show you one by one of applications, and people have done it, and some of my work, which I am working on it, that I would like to show. So this is one of the work which is called in vivo study. When you study any material on any animal cell, then that called in vivo study. Okay, so where they are inserted in a mice, they inserted the NB nitrogen boron graphene quantum. This was not my work, but I'm just showing it to you. So, and then they wanted to see where it is the liver and kidney and other stuff. This is my work where in silico study what we have done is with the protein cell of triple negative breast cancer. We wanted to know that how my graphene quantum dot, which is sulfur and nitrogen doped graphene quantum dot, how it is, how effectively it is binding with the triple negative breast cancer cell or protein. Okay, this is a protein. So we found that this is giving a very good binding affinity. As a result, we can conclude that this system can be used as my graphene quantum dot can be used as a treatment for the breast cancer. Okay. Second work as this is a dye-sensitized solar cell. Okay. We have used our ND-based graphene quantum dot in a dye-sensitized solar cell, and generally what we have seen is people have reported up to 6%. In our case, by using the ND-doped graphene quantum dot, we reached to 8.76%. You may say that it is very low, but no. For a dye-sensitized solar cell, this is a very good number, okay? Because it is cost-effective, and you can make these solar cells in your home itself. I will tell you how easily it can be done just next, this is one of the work which I am working with Professor Satyanarayan. Just before when he was speaking, he was telling my name that we are working. So this is the one work which we are doing is, these are different graphene quantum dots you are seeing. This is blue, this is green, and this is red. So you may have heard about RGB. When you mix this RGB in a right proportion, as a result, what you can see is a white light emitting graphene quantum dot. And we are verge of making a device which emits white light. Once you make the white light, your work is very simple. You can make large display out of it. Okay? So hopefully, by this year, we can show some devices picture also. Okay, sir? Yes. This is, in the case of, this is the tunable photoluminescence, which I have shown an example here. Then excellent dispersibility, as I have told you that this is the graphene quantum dot, which has different functional groups. These are the different functional groups you can see, which allows these graphene quantum dots to disperse in different medium. And because of this easy surface grafting, this is one of my work which shows the power density and energy density for a supercapacitor. We make supercapacitor in our lab, and as a result, what you're seeing that a material called pani, and when inside the pani you made the graphene quantum dot, you see how effectively you have enhanced the power density versus energy density. Your energy density at a particular power density is almost double, which is here it is showing 15, here it is showing 40. Okay, so it allows you to make what is called different applications. Okay. However, another exotic thing what I wanted to show you, this is the single photon detection from the what is called graphene quantum dot. We also wanted to do the same thing from one of our collaborators in Chile, but somehow what happened is, in our graphene quantum dots, the background defects was a little bit higher, so that when we try to detect, it's not coming properly. So we wanted to do it for different other materials, which we keep working on it. Okay. So as you can see that the property and application of graphene quantum dots is very much diverse, from biological application to single photon detection. But still, I wanted to tell you that why we are talking about a material is so having a diverse, and it is a wonderful material. So the wonders of graphene quantum dots comes into this point, that the first question you will ask, whether any other apart from quantum dot in terms of graphene, any other quantum dots are available? Yes. There are many quantum dots are available, such as cadmium selenide, cadmium sulfide, cadmium selenide, calcium telluride, zinc sulfide, zinc selenide, zinc chloride, mercury sulfide, mercury selenide, mercury telluride, and lead sulfide and lead selenide, and few more are there. Okay. All these quantum dots which you are listed here, they have a very low biocompatibility as compared to graphene, because graphene quantum dot shows compatibility because it's made up of carbon, and very less amount of external dopings are present. So as you can see here, in this case, the biocompatibility and non-toxicity test for zinc selenide is, if you will see the cell viability here, with the amount of microgram per liter, maximum is 100 microgram per liter, whereas if you see here, this is 1000 microgram per liter, okay, per ml. Here also per ml. It is in 100 microgram, here it is a 1000. So 10-fold better it shows the biocompatibility. So you can use a larger amount of drug in terms of delivering or imaging, whereas these things limits these things. So what we are trying to say that graphene quantum dots is 10 times better biocompatible and less toxic. Now, okay, that's fine. But the question is again, is it easy to make? Yes, it is very easy to make. As you can see, graphene quantum dots can be synthesized by using green carbon source such as mango leaf, neem leaves, lemon juice, and coal, which is highly abundant. You don't need to mine anything to make your graphene quantum dots. Whereas, in the case of the previous one, selenite, telluride, sulfide, zinc, all those things you need to mine it. It is not abundant source. So this makes, which I feel that this material has a wonderful potentials for our human race, which can be enhanced and can be used for better applications. So at present, any product in the market related to the drug delivery, yes. G11 modified graphene quantum dots, which is named as a GQDs at the rate GE11, were used as a drug carrier for clinical chemotherapists. So with this, I would like to thank you for giving a lecture and listening my talk on wonders of graphene quantum dot. If you have any question, please let me know. Yeah. I didn't get you. For? Filtrate? No. No, it's not possible. Because its size itself in of the order of 1 to 10 nanometer, you cannot use. But you can use it for detection of impurities, ions in water. Okay, for example, mercury and irons are present, whether it is there or not. You can use these graphene quantum dots, mix it into the solution, and these irons, iron or impurity present in that, it affects your photoluminescence ability. So it can detect that things. Any other question? Okay, then. Thank you, sir.
Sir, for your interesting talk on the graphene single dots, I request Professor B. Dastagiri Reddy to hand over the memento to Professor Rahman. Our next speaker is Professor B. Dastagiri Reddy from Department of Electrical Engineering, and he will be talking on title Electrical Vehicle or Charging Station. Which one is first? I request Professor Reddy to deliver a talk. Over to you, sir.
Hello. Thank you. It's okay. Yes. Hi. How many of you carrying mobile phones? How many of you carrying chargers? At least a power bank? No one? Very few? Okay. So that's the problem we are going to talk. Let me introduce myself. I am Dr. Dastagiri Reddy. Worked on renewable energy integration to the grids at NIT Trichy. Worked on electrification of ports and islands at NUS Singapore. Worked on flash charging technologies for e-bus and charging stations. And currently working here on the same problem of chicken and egg story of electric vehicles. How many of you know what is this problem? Which comes first? The charging station guy says, you bring more vehicles, I'll set up a charging station. The electric vehicle guy says, you set up the charging station first, then I can launch the vehicle. So that's the problem, okay? So I just want to give you some glimpses of this particular problem. So let's drive through the journey from ancient chariots to autonomous EV vehicles, okay? So transportation is always being evolved. So we evolved from ancient chariots to now autonomous vehicles. So if you wonder what is the first vehicle that replaced horses is an electric vehicle. The first vehicle that replaced horses is an electric vehicle, and that too with non-rechargeable batteries, okay? Then the first locomotive was also an electric. Right now we are seeing metros or the trains, all are electrified, but we have seen this in those days, okay? Then the bench invented ICE engine or combustion engine based vehicle. Then the Ford introduced their next vehicle. That were like huge competition there between electric vehicles and combustion engines. And you may be surprising that, you know, those days, women preferred electric vehicles over IC engines. You will know why in a while. Then electric vehicle came in the form of hybrid. It's like, okay, you do your job and let me do my job. So that's where IC engine and electric vehicle like combined together. That's where hybrid systems came into picture. And right now, most of the vehicles that are dominating in automobile industry is hybrid vehicles, right? Then Tesla launched its famous S model using the batteries what you use in your remotes or toy cars. So they launched the big vehicle and that revolutionized electric vehicle industry. And right now we are talking about driverless cars and that too electric vehicles, okay? At the same time, IC engines were also like struggling in the beginning. They have some problems. To begin with, I hope you all know how to start an IC engine. In the early days, you need more muscle power. And that's the reason I told you why women likes electric vehicle those days. So imagine all the queens come with heavy ornaments and saris and beautiful gowns and come and try to start their vehicles. That was not good. So they were preferring this. But even there, from such muscle power to a finger touch, you can start a vehicle. So we evolved a lot in the field of IC engines as well. Of course, that is possible because of the starter motor, okay? Again, it's electric. So you use a starter motor, which is electric, and then you start your engine. So that's how IC engines also evolved, right? So now, why we are competing with IC engine or electric vehicle, or moving forward, why electric vehicle or charging station, which comes first, okay? At the end of the day, any vehicle has three components: a tank, a conversion mechanism, and the wheel. So you have some fuel, you need to convert the energy associated with the fuel into the wheel. That's the story, right? Finally, so let us see what is there in every fuel. So if you take petrol or diesel or electricity, in terms of cost, in terms of energy densities. Let's say if you have 1 kg of diesel or 1 liter of diesel, you can get 10 units of power or energy, okay? 10 units of energy. So 1 unit, you may be wondering like 10 fans and 10 lights. You can run for 1 hour. That's what I'm talking about, okay? So if you have 1 liter of diesel, you can get 10 units. But at the same time, if you have 1 kg of battery, you can get only 300 watts, 0.3 kilowatt, 0.3 unit. That's very less. And that's the biggest problem. But the other side, if you have 1 kg of diesel or petrol or 1 liter of diesel or petrol, if you convert that to the wheel, your efficiency is hardly 20%. But the same 1 kg of battery, if you have, and you can convert with 90% efficiency. And that is where the tank to wheel efficiency comes into picture. So if you can manage your tank properly, the efficiency-wise, electric vehicle is always the winner. And that's why we are looking into more about that. Okay? But the problem with energy storage is this. Either you have a big tank with a small opening, or a smaller tank with a big opening. I mean, you need to fill that, right? So if, let's say you have a 10 liters of water bottle with a very small opening, you need more time to fill it, right? Or if you have a small water bottle with wide opening, you can fill it faster, but it will be emptied very faster. And that's the problem. And that is where you get energy rating and power rating of so-called energy storage systems, okay? But there are different technologies available in the market in terms of supercapacitor. Just now one professor talked about the same problem, right? So either if you use supercapacitor, you can take more power. That means you can charge faster. You can charge faster, but it won't last longer, right? If you take lead acid battery, it can store huge energy, but it cannot charge faster. And the weight and volume is very high. So imagine a Maruti car. If at all you want to have a 500 kilometer range in single charge, you need to carry an elephant-sized battery. That's the scenario, right? So now our problem is we don't have such a chemistry. That is where we need chemistry engineers or chemical engineers to come up with where we are targeting somewhere here at the corner, which have high energy density and high power density. If that comes, we use electric vehicles the way you are using mobile phone without knowing the technology behind it, the way we are using traveling aeroplanes without knowing the technology, right? So that will be the situation. So moving forward, what happened, the problem of electric vehicles? We were very happy in 1920s. There was huge competition with respect to IC engines. Electric vehicles were dominant. But suddenly there comes the range anxiety came into picture. Like in single charge, how far I can go. And if at all I want to increase the range, I need to add more batteries. If I need to add more batteries, as I told you, for a small car, you need an elephant-sized battery. And that was the biggest problem, right? And that's where IC engines picked up because they had only one problem of solving the starting and some issues related to the exhaust gases. So they figured it out some ways and they dominated the world, right? So now we are also in a similar domain. So where we have different battery chemistries or different storage technologies. We had multiple vehicles, but you know, if you see 1950s and 1970s, we launched some electric vehicles, but it didn't make any impact in the vehicles industry, right? In the process of competing with IC engines with single charge, long mileage or more range, we started burning the cars. That means we ended up in some chemistry which is not safe, which is not stable, but it can meet the range requirements, but which are not safe. And that's where we started burning the vehicles, right? And slowly we wanted to slow down and to go little safer technology of the batteries, but we have to compromise on the range. That's the current situation. But if you can come up with a combination of supercapacitors and batteries, a combination of these two, then there is a possibility of having a safer batteries and longer mileage with less weight and volume. Okay? So that's the future. So in this, the first problem that what we have, as I told you, is the battery. It's cost, volume. That is the biggest problem of electric vehicles to come to the market. And the second one is range anxiety. Though you travel mostly 40 kilometers in a day, but you expect a 500 kilometer range for single charge. That's our mindset, right? How many of you still looking for long battery mobile phone instead of the features? How many used to do that? We are so many people used to do that. I want a longer battery mobile, forget about the apps, okay? Forget about the features it will give. So now we are in such situation, we need a longer mileage vehicles, so that should change. Okay, why it changed? Why it changed? One is safety of, I think you might have come across the situation where mobile phone who are using Samsung were not allowed in aeroplanes, certain models, right? So safety was the biggest concern. And lack of charging stations, right? Electrification is not so great, so we are worried. So coming to the biggest problem is the battery, as we understand from now, because if you have electricity, conversion is not a big problem. We have motors. We are happily running metros. We are happily running trains, okay, long trains. So there's no problem. The only problem with the battery. So how to safeguard your battery? Okay, the battery life depends on how deep you discharge and how many times you use it, and what is the temperatures that you maintain, right? So the simple thumb rule that you can follow is, if you are using like this, where you charge completely and you wait till to become 20 or 10% and you charge it again, what you can do is don't charge it fully, make it 80 to 40%. If required, you can do intermittent charging, okay? Then the same battery which used to last in the first scenario for 3 years, it will last you for 10 years. Okay? And the rule of simple thumb is, if you are comfortable, battery is comfortable. Because we have the larger chemistry than what is running in the batteries. Okay? For example, if you eat too much without doing anything, what will happen to you? If you don't eat anything but keep working, what will happen to you? Okay, so that's the scenario. Let's say what temperatures you feel comfortable? Maybe 25, 26, 27. So that's the comfortable temperature. So if human beings are comfortable in certain environment, the way they live, that's the rule of thumb. That is what you need to provide to the battery as well. Then it will last longer. Okay, so coming to the problem, which comes first? It is not the first problem that we have come across. Gas engines and gas stations, mobile phones and apps, internet and websites. Those are the chicken and egg problems were there already in place, and we solved them eventually. So now what we are doing at NITK is, we are working on all the aspects of electric vehicle industry, that is having a smart charging station that can charge any vehicle, either AC charging or DC charging. You can charge a two-wheeler or three-wheeler or a four-wheeler or a big bus or truck. That should be the compatibility that you need. And at vehicle side, why you are looking for a charger, why can't you charge whatever is available with you? You go home, you have a single-phase power supply, you go to a charging station, you may have three-phase or you may have DC. So why don't you make your vehicle itself as a smart, so that you can charge from anybody, anywhere. Even if you run out of a charge from a guy who is passing by you. You say like, hey, come on, can you just give me some charge of yours? I can't go to the charging station right now. Okay, so that's the technology that we are working on. And at home, if you have a solar PV system, you need one inverter. If you buy a four-wheeler, you need another charger. If you buy a two-wheeler, you need another charger. So why to buy so many converters? Why don't we have a simple magic box that can cater your household, your vehicle, your four-wheeler and your two-wheeler? And that is what we are working on, right? So overall, what I'm trying to conclude here is, we all began with the wheel that revolutionized the transportation system, but that wheel is now running with electricity. And to do that, electrification is the key. It's not a trend, but it is a must to do, okay? And the future is electric. We have to drive it, right? Thank you. Any questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your excellent presentation on the electric vehicles and the challenges with respect to the electric vehicles. I request Professor Prithviraj to hand over the Memento to Professor Dastagiri. So we are at the last technical talk of today's interdisciplinary science and technology. And next speaker is Professor U. Prithviraj. He is a professor of Department of Water Resources and Ocean Engineering. He is also the vice chairman of the most exciting center of our institute, that is a Center for System Design, where almost all branches of BTech students have a hands-on training and playing with all type of devices. He will be talking about what our director sir has mentioned in the inaugural session, that is search for a search, and I hope few of you must have put some efforts to find out what is search and where it is located. I request Professor Prithviraj to deliver a talk. Over to you, sir.
Hello. Video. Good morning to all of you. So NITK is full of possibilities. So let us go through a video of 13 minutes where we try to showcase on what NITK and its students can do along with the scholars. So, volume, yeah. So that was search, and it stands for a system for emergency assistance response communication hub. The most fantastic part of this is including video, product design, fabrication, execution is all done by students like you. Some of them have become alumni, and some of it was their BTech work or their MTech or ongoing PhD work. So this project was completely funded by alumni, and it is executed next to the campus property attached, touching the beach. So what is the features of this? So you have autonomous drones, wherein which you would have seen thermal imaging in it, and these were used to track the elephants, wild elephants in the forest, where there was, it had created havoc or there was a conflict between man, animal, conflict where 2 deaths had occurred. So the team had gone, students' team had gone over there, used drones with thermal cameras, tracked them, and then the search was carried for more than 4 to 5 hours. Then finally they were able to trace it by using thermal signatures. You can see autonomous marine vessels which are used. You would have seen the recent landslide, and in that landslide, the GPRs, the autonomous drones, the bathymetric setups, all those was used to identify some of the metal portions that was being carried away in Ankola landslide. So what we would like to see is students get involved through Center for System Design, and if you see in this, there is not one engineering branch. I am from civil engineering and water resources faculty. So students who are working are from different disciplines and then try to perform. And of course, all these are there within the container, and it's a portable cabin, and multiple times the students who worked, who presented, have secured #1 prize in national level, Asia level, and we have the best of the best communication towers in any education institute in the entire world. So now, we will see, we require drive systems that can actually work in search and rescue. And to do that, actually we have integrated few e-mobility systems that can go forward and proceed. So now, what we find is a small video clip. And here we have an additional part where intern students also get involved to design this. Yeah, so now if you see, the designer is student, the welder is student, the driver is a student, and how many of you would like to welcome the group which is working on it onto the tires? Please, yeah. Of course, it is electric. That time it was the first ever dirt bike in India. Of course, it does not make any noise. The motor was given by SCG Automotive. They are the group who does for Ola. And the team, a group of students and staffs who have done it. We have the entire team who is doing it. Manish, we can proceed further. So this is a glimpse where students go out of the classroom and try to do some of the objects and try to achieve what they wish to do and what concepts they have learned and how they have integrated. So now let us take something that is onto air and how we can proceed further. So this is a typical application of how the drones have been used.
The Department
Recently,
of Water
the
Resource
team won
and Ocean
national level
Engineering,
first prize,
in coordination with the Center for System
using
Design,
drone, AI,
begins a
ML,
journey
and
to bring
proceeding further.
elevating intelligence using drones.
So you can see here
address
how
farmers'
multispectral
needs.
imaging is
Staff and
applied
students
along with thermal imaging and JS application, where they sit across and try to solve some of the societal problems that a farmer needs. So we see that is NDVI. NDVI is a normalized vegetation index. The student groups fly the drone, and some of them whom you see are some alumni, some of them are pursuing their PhD. And the team recently in a rapid prototyping camp, a national level fest, they won first prize.
Multiple imagery at different times, that is during the growth of the plants and seasonal changes, provides further data for analytical processing. Using this technology, the actual number of plants, their individual health and nutrition levels, and also an in-depth analysis of the weeds could be gathered, thus providing the grower with loads of beneficial information which was otherwise not possible in the past.
So now let us explore into water. As I said, there is a case where we need to search what is below the water. One typical example was the Ankola disaster. Some cases we have searched for sunken ship for environmental impact assessment. So these are some of the small products which were very expensive, converted by using sports utility items that we can get in some of the shops and converted into autonomous as a part of thesis. So here you can see an expensive device is been converted by a floating rig with a thruster and an motor. So if you see the entire design, there's a mechanical group, there's an IT group, there is an electronics branch, and final application is done by a civil engineer or a JS engineer. So it makes it a true transdisciplinary. Of course, it is hard to communicate of different age groups, hard to communicate with the students from different discipline, but still at the end, they join hands to solve some of these problems and get an output. So you can see the depth of the river, which is able to identify, and any accumulation of sand is there, where the sand excavation can happen, or any debris are there, or in sunken floating vessels is there. This device is being successfully used. So now, what if engineering not solving any societal problem? So this is a typical example where initially we started with collecting plastic waste by hand by a students group who are part of Incident. Most of you don't know what is Incident. Is a cultural festival, making it South India's biggest. So they have a small initiative called iCare. We added technology into it. The group done by students, wherein which an eye, you can see the eye written. It is a blank of plastic bags which are being collected, and you have at the end you have a students group who have collected it and part. So this was how the initial work was done, collecting the plastics and then putting into a small shredder from shredder, and then converting that into an molten and get the mold and maybe create a small keychain or any utility product. So you can see some of the things are taken from scrap, refurbished it, but not very expensive product. But what we want to showcase is how a group involved in a cultural festival can solve a societal problem which is very next to their compound. So that is what we want. All these are students. Photography, editing, person talking, designing it, executing it, finally including the deliverables of it.
We had to think of some product which can be easily manufactured and something which everyone would buy and love. One of the several ideas we got was the keychain.
So you can see over here how an CAD model goes into an negative
Cylindrical heater is aligned
of
to the mold,
molding,
and then
we
inject.
do a small keychain. Of course, this is a small DIY desktop-based inject mold device. And you can see the support of Baikampadi GTDC training center, wherein which the small products are being able to be done at in-house. Yeah, that's a keychain which was made of different colors. Not all were white, some were because of the plastic that was taken. So I is for Incident, and they care about the society. So that is what, and this is the improved version of it, where a simple 4-wheel autonomous bot done by Rajat. It also won few awards at different locations. Now the conveyor belting system is getting improved on it, and it will be added with LiDAR for autonomous navigation across the beach coast. And we are waiting for the final product that has to come out. So this entire stage is going to a phase 2 of change. So now, NITK is located in a very pristine location wherein which on one side you have beach and other side you have Western Ghats. What if no engineering solution reaches Kudremukha?
Indians have been worshipping Mother Earth and trees for centuries. It is through nature that we have a home to live and sustain. Kudremukha is famous among the peaks of Western Ghats in Karnataka because of its biological abundance. While sholas are nature's water towers, fresh water streams and greenery add beauty to this place. Kudremukha, home to these vast shola forests, have faced certain nature and man-made problems, which has created its own havoc. Kudremukha Wildlife Division of Karnataka Forest Department has taken specific steps.
So here you can see the team trying to use thermal cameras, and here is where the documentation portion of it, wherein which when you pass the national forest, you try to get the tag of plastics and others collected with the support of forestry. Because the initiative of forest department, we are supporting in documenting part and trying to give the tentative locations of forest fires. Their documentation portion of it.
Not until the goal is reached. It is the duty of every citizen to join hands with the Karnataka Forest Department in their efforts to conserve shola and its habitat, since its conservation is the need of the hour.
Yeah, it's a teaser of an documentary that team NITK did it for the forest documentary, and wherein which that PhD, MTech, BTech students got involved. And remember, entire thing is compiled by students. So you are interested in birds, we have a solution. We have a problem associated with. So as a being, we are a big family of engineering, so we are rightful to live. So what you saw all over here is, it does not matter which branch you are, it is the passion that you have, and engineering is truly transdisciplinary. And the most important part, it was the students who are sitting right over there, and their legacy is what I have projected it over here. Now it's your time, you're in first year. Maybe in 4 years, your videos will be coming over here. That is what we want to project, so that your legacies. Welcome to Team NITK. I am Prithviraj, faculty at NITK Surathkal. 2002, I completed my BE at NITK. That time it was KREC. Then it's been 17 years of my teaching at NITK. Thank you. Welcome to NITK.
Thank you, sir, for a very interesting journey of Center for System Design, and I hope this will be the turning point for all the first year BTech admit students of this year, and they can also in future will be one among the contributors of some of the activities. I request Professor Jagannath Nayak to hand over the memento to Professor Prithviraj. So here we are actually ending with our interdisciplinary science and technology orientation. And next 2 to 3 sessions are very much important as a part of new NITK admitting students. The next speaker is Professor Jagannath Nayak. He is a senior professor of Department of Metallurgical and Materials Engineering. At presently, he is working as a Chief Vigilance Officer of NITK Surathkal, and Professor will be speaking about anti-ragging measures and awareness. And I request all the students to place the attention to this matter. Over to you, sir.
Good morning. Hi guys, good morning. Yeah. I am Professor Jagannath Nayak from Department of Metallurgical and Materials Engineering. And I'm asked to talk about anti-ragging measures and control. Probably you may be wondering, we are first years and this topic of anti-ragging, should it be addressed to us or to our seniors? To you? Anti-ragging should be addressed to you or your seniors? Both. Okay, good. How many of you have been ragged so far in NITK? Anybody? No. Yeah. Ours is zero ragging campus. Do you feel you have been ragged all these days by your professors? No. Right? Yeah, okay. So I'm going to talk about anti-ragging measures and, of course, awareness. Here are a few pictures on ragging. This picture, I think in all these 3 pictures, you can see that the student who is being ragged, he is not very comfortable. While this is also a picture of ragging, but you can see they are enjoying it. They have been asked to dance like Madhuri Dixit or somebody, I don't know, but yes, they are doing it with some sort of joy. I think you all seen this movie, 3 Idiots, right? And I hope you all enjoyed this scene also at that time. But now you are in this position. You just remember that. But again here, sorry. You have this Raju, you have this Farhan, and of course you have this Chatur. Right? Yeah. Raju is already God-fearing, a lot of rings on his, so he'll say, oh Rama, Sri Krishna, etc. He'll be writing. He is, basically he doesn't bother because he was not interested in engineering at all. Of course, Chatur was very much, he enthusiastically participated in all the, whatever seniors say, he is ready to do that. Because he wanted to become a topper, even in facing the ragging as well. Probably he would have thought that he might get, his CGPA might increase if he, right? Okay. So what I'm trying to say is that, yeah, the ragging, of course, shouldn't be there. But even if it is there in a small, this thing, it depends on how the students take it. Okay. No. Then what is ragging? Any act resulting in mental, physical, sexual abuse, verbal abuse, indecent behavior, criminal intimidation, wrongful restraint, undermining human dignity, financial exploitation, extortion, and use of force. This is the definition of ragging, which you can see in all the websites. Okay, but ragging is not just confined to this. When it comes to student ragging, any conduct by a student, whether by words, spoken or written, or by an act which includes physical abuse, loud acts, teasing, rough and rude treatment, including in rowdy, indisciplined and obscene activities, which causes or is likely to cause annoyance, undue hardship, physical or psychological harm, or mental trauma, or raise apprehension or fear in a fresher bar junior or in any other student. Forcing a student to do any act which such a student is not willing to do and which has the effect of causing or generating a sense of shame or embarrassment or danger to a student's life or adversely affect the psyche or physique or psyche of the student or a fresher. Exploiting the services of a junior student for completing the academic tasks assigned to individual. Like seniors can ask you to complete this assignment and submit it tomorrow kind of thing. Okay. All this come under student ragging. Now, if a student is involved in ragging, he may have to face punishments. What are those punishments? Could be cancellation of admission, suspension from attending classes, withholding or withdrawing scholarship, fellowship, or any other benefits, including campus placement. You will be debarred from campus placement if you are caught in ragging. Debarring from appearing in any test, examination, or other evaluation process. Withholding results. Debarring from representing the institute in any regional, national, or international meet, tournament, or youth festivals, etc. Then there could be a collective punishment as well when the person committing crime of ragging are not identified. The institution shall resort to collective punishment as a deterrent to ensure community pressure on the potential ragger. And if you are involved in ragging, you may have to face this. Foolishly, I ragged and got suspended. Will I get prosecuted? What about my job prospects? My future is a big question mark. Therefore, say no to ragging. Before you even think of ragging, just think. If you are caught, the humiliation that you have to undergo. You may be suspended. You may be blacklisted. Your career may be ruined. You may be expelled. There could be a possible of prosecution as well. So don't remember, ragging is for losers and not for winners. So don't ever indulge in ragging. But as freshers, of course, you won't be ragging now, but you might be ragged. Possibility is very less, but in that, even then, don't just stand and watch. If one of your batchmates or friends is being ragged, don't just stand and watch. Stop ragging, show your character, bring it to the notice of the higher authorities. Say no to ragging, because ragging is for losers. Say yes to a joyful campus. We all come here for study, so the campus should be joyful. So no ragging, but a joyful campus. Why you should stop ragging? Because are there no other ways of bonding? Is it ragging is the only way where we can have bonding between our seniors and juniors? No. There can be many, many ways. Okay. So this is not the only way. This is not our culture as well. Just talk to us. This is by a junior. Talk to us. Don't torture us. Because there is no scientific reason for ragging. Okay? And obviously remember, ragging is for losers. What's happening? Yeah. So, don't rag, just interact. Ragging in any form is punishable. And you can always download this app, which is given by UGC. And of course, visit UGC website for other details. If you are being ragged, immediately you can call UGC anti-ragging helpline. This is a number, it's available. But before that, you can also bring it to the notice of your wardens or Dean Students Welfare Office or NITK office. We at NITK, we would like our campus to be a campus of zero ragging. Obviously, it is that. And for that, what are the efforts taken by NITK towards zero ragging? Awareness among the students. We create awareness among the students, especially the seniors, by displaying posters. I think you might have seen the posters in all the buildings. The posters have been displayed about to bring in awareness about anti-ragging at all the hostels, at all the departments, in the main building, etc. Okay? Then, shortly we will be administering you the anti-ragging pledge. So every first-year student will be administered a pledge of anti-ragging. First-year students are housed in separate hostel blocks where there is no access to senior students, right? And of course, there is restricted block timings for the first years, freshers, so that we are just preventing them to be outside in the late hours in the night and facing some problems, if at all. Then there are anti-ragging squads being established by the Office of Dean Students Welfare, and this squad consists of faculty members, and they go for 24/7 vigilance. Then there will be vigilance by the Council of Wardens and also vigilance by the security staff. These are the measures which are taken by NITK to ensure that our campus is a campus of zero ragging. And to give a just example, this is of course last year's list. This year's list is almost completed. It requires just approval of the director, and therefore I'm not displaying this year's unless the director approves. Okay, it's not good to display that particular list, but this list will be very much similar. This is last year list, and this is how the anti-ragging squad is being formed. On Sunday, we have 6 to 10 a.m. one group, 10 to 2 another group, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., and 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. 24 hours. There is a team headed by one senior professor and then a group members. Okay? And the following Sunday, group 1 and group 2 will interchange. Their timings get interchanged. Okay? And similarly, we have for Mondays, we have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So all days, 7 days of a week, 24 hours, this squad will be visiting the hostels. They'll be moving around, and there'll be a proper vigilance, just to prevent ragging. Now, apart from this, I also would like to tell you one or two things that in NITK, we observe a vigilance awareness week starting from 28th October to 3rd November, 1 week. And this is, of course, observed across the country with the theme Cultural Integrity and Nation's Prosperity. And on this day, the Integrity Pledge will be administered. And this is the pledge. Why I'm telling you this is a pledge which will be administered on one of the days of that week, but we have to follow this all the year. Okay, it's not confined to only that particular day. So the pledge goes like this. I believe that corruption has been one of the major obstacles to economic, political, and social progress of our country. I believe that all the stakeholders such as government, citizens, and private sector need to work together to eradicate corruption. I realize that every citizen should be vigilant and commit to highest standards of honesty, integrity, at all the times, and supporting the fight against corruption, I therefore pledge to follow probity and rule of law in all walks of life, to neither take nor offer bribe, to perform all tasks in an honest and transparent manner, to act in public interest, to lead by example, exhibiting integrity in personal behavior, and to report to any incident of corruption to the appropriate agency. And this is not for that one day, and it has to be followed throughout the 365 days of a year. Similarly, we also celebrate Rashtriya Ekta Divas on the birth anniversary of the first Home Minister, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. And on this day also, we take a Ekta Divas pledge. The pledge is, I dedicate myself to preserve the unity, integrity, and security of the nation, and also strive hard to spread this message among my fellow countrymen. And I take this pledge in the spirit of unification of my country, which was made possible by the vision and actions of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. And I also solemnly resolve to make my own contribution to ensure internal security of my country. And followed by this, there will be a unity run organized by the Institute. Finally, I have just a piece of advice to you first years. You have joined NITK with a purpose. Please remember how much you have slogged in JEE to crack a seat at NITK Surathkal, and your dream has come true. You have joined NITK with a purpose. Now, at times, there could be other attractions other than your study, because now you are in the hostel, your parents are not here, nobody is there to ask what you are doing, okay? There could be some attraction or distractions. Don't get diverted from your main goal. Most importantly, before taking up any new activity which you have not done so far, including ragging. Ragging, it could be smoking, it could be consumption of alcohol. Your friends may call you, right? These are all new activities for you. So before taking up any such new activity, what you have to do, think of your beloveds, either your mom or dad. Just think of them. Is it acceptable to her or he? Okay, just think of them. If required, take their consent. Mama, tomorrow I am going to do this. Is it okay? No, because, why I am telling you this is because they have seen you when you are with them. They will be thinking that you will be like that in these hostels or here as well. And they are very proud. They will be very proudly saying that to their friends that, yeah, my son or daughter is in NITK, she is studying, etc., etc. But if you do this, then they will break. So please don't do this. Make the best use of the opportunity at NITK Surathkal, and at the end of 4 years from now, walk out with a BTech degree, a dream job in hand, and a well-developed personality. It's not just reading, it's just scoring marks in examination, but you also should develop your personality, for which we have excellent sports facilities. We have 29 clubs, student clubs, which cater to various activities in various areas. Be a member of one of these clubs, okay? Sports is, I think everybody should spend at least half an hour in sports, because that is the only one activity which will give you both mental health as well as physical health. Okay? So make use of all of that, the excellent facilities that you have to develop well-developed personality, and by then, that is a BTech degree, dream job, and well-developed personality. You make your parents and your teachers proud. You make your country also proud. Jai Bharat, Jai Hind. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for educating the 2024 BTech admits with the zero tolerance policy of NITK towards the ragging. I request Professor A.C. Hegde, the Dean Students Welfare, to hand over the memento to Professor Nayak. Dear students, so we are almost done with the orientation program of first year BTech students, and the last session will be by Professor A.C. Hegde, Dean Students Welfare. He is a very kind and humble person as a faculty, as a parent at the campus, and I hope you are fortunate and kind enough to have him as a Dean Students Welfare. I request Professor A.C. Hegde to address the students for their benefit. Over to you, sir.
Dear students and my fellow colleagues, we are toward the fag end of this orientation program. The most disappointing part is out of 1,100, less than 100 students are here. The whole 2 weeks program is intended for you. Unfortunately, students are not around. It's the sad part of this orientation program. But however, as the program is planned, it will go, and we are toward the fag end of this program. And because I'm Dean Student Welfare, before to this I was warden, then chief warden for 4 years, and now as a Dean of Student Welfare. Because welfare of the student is the most happiest and the closest aspect of students' life here in my heart. That's why I'm repeatedly given that responsibility of taking care of the welfare of the students. I'm proud to be here. I'm happy to be here. Due to some reasons, I could not be there in the beginning part of this orientation program to tell my concerns, to tell my feelings, to share my thoughts, all those things. However, that part is ably conducted by Associate Dean Dr. Pavan Kumar. I'm very thankful to you for having conducted. As that part is lost there, alongside administrating the pledge of this anti-drug drive, I just want to say a few words at this point of time. And anyway, I'll just try to finish fast. This is the most rewarding journey of NITK. All of you have boarded into this a very valuable and a memorable vehicle of going for 4 years at NITK. And very valuable and very meaningful. More than anything, it is dream of you, it is dream of institute, your parents. Most importantly, it is the dream of everybody. Because it is the dream in the southern region of India. All parents, if it given a chance, their first choice is to get my son or daughter seat at NITK. Therefore, you are fortunate enough to be here, to having secured seat here. But it is that particular, happiness and the celebration I could see only in the first day. As the day passes, that spirit has declined. It is most unfortunate part. And I am going to tell, I want to relate this particular context, this situation. In the gallery is supposed to have 1,100 people, 100 people is there now. The same situation is happening in your academic performance also. All of you have come with same speed. You're all on the same line of that running track. But some are lagging, some are the champions, some are the failures, some are disqualified. That is going to happen. And that is what I'm telling. That vigor, the spirit, whatever you have joined with to this institute, that spirit should be there in your mind till you go out from the NITK portal. That's what I'm telling all students. Okay, this particular orientation program is conducted for all of you with more than 100 sessions. You may not believe, more than 100 sessions were there conducted. Okay, some of you may not be relevant to you, but nothing wrong in hearing it. Okay, that gives you some sort of, because just you have seen that Dr. Prithviraj. See, he's just 13 years back, he was a student of NITK. How much achievement he has done. That is a model for you. That is a eye-opener for you. That you have to inculcate in your mind and heart. That point should be taken as a what is called instigating point for all of you. It is not a waste, because 15 days time is given to you to be here, to hear something. You need not to grasp everything. But one spark, if it gives some starting anywhere, then our work of this orientation program that we have done from past 3 months preparation in the direction of our director. Our director is very visionary person. He crafted each and every program straight from his pen. That is the most important thing. Such director having such a, what is called innovative idea, it is very rare to get it. And that he has planned and that he has given to us to execute it, that we have executed. And who are the takers, who are the benefiters is up to you. But I am telling to you, all students, you all have come with equal qualification, equal credential, equal opportunity. I expect that all of you should go out from this institute with the same spirit of success. But it is not happening. Why it is not happening, I will tell you from my mind and from my heart and from my experience. That's what it is told here, a rewarding journey of NITK Surathkal. And then, anyway, there are many things to say about NITK. All people have told. Apart from the academic matter, so many opportunities are told. Because we are going in a very, what is called, a memorable journey to some destiny. However, our vehicle may be luxurious, or however the scenic beauty of the roadside beauty, anything may be. Unless institute may fuel the vehicle, but you have to have your own vehicle. You have to, what is that vehicle? Your mindset is the vehicle. The institute may fuel it. The road may be very good, but the scenic beauty may be very good. But only thing is, you should keep your vehicle ready. Whether you are really ready for that. That is what I want to tell you. And these are the many things when NITK, our students, celebrates it. Because we have very good infrastructure, very good teaching faculty that you have already seen. See, each one of them are master in their domain, the faculty members. And you can see through their lectures. At the same time, to give your interpersonal relationship and a social life to improve and to be a very, what is called a well-rounded personality, there are many clubs are there. And it's all guided by faculties only. Therefore, one of the students will be the convener of such clubs. Therefore, whole freedom is given to you to develop your personality. Therefore, these are some of the clubs, and that may be Kannada students clubs, and these type of things. See, there are professional society and the social service, NCC and NSS. Apart from this, various different programs we are conducting time to time as instructed by the ministries. And these are all some of the things. It is taking place throughout the year. Just some glimpses of our flagship programs, engineer, because from now your participation starts into this program. That keeps you, because after you pass out from this institute, what it haunts in your mind is the sweet memories of this type of instance may not be your classroom memories. Okay, therefore, to ponder upon such things, here are some memories taken from engineer of last year. It is incident program, a cultural festival. It is taking place in the next second half of the academic year. That is incident. It is one of the famous flagship program for institute. It is of the highest level in southern region of India. Okay. Anyway, this is Bharat Darshan. We have a special program in our institute to take the best part of the cultural greatness of all regions of the country. That is called Bharat Darshan. All of you are participating, where all of us forgetting these small boundaries of region and religion. You all as a one, Indian. That's why beautifully that name is given, Bharat Darshan. Okay, where all of you are the participant, you are enjoying it without any discrimination, any disorders. Okay, then coming to Kannada Rajyosava, this is one of the things I have taken. Apart from this, you are going to participate in many international programs or cleanup society. It is of societal concerns or societal activities like this. And this, the Karavali Marathon, see, they will give T-shirt, wearing T-shirt, running along the beach. These are all really memorable events. Okay, and this is most important thing is ring presentation ceremony is the unique part of NITK here, because you are just entered into your professional life now here. After this, before going to marriage ring, you will get one ring in between. That is our institute ring. And this institute ring remains as a umbilical cord to connect between the institute and in your memories all through your life. And you may not believe, one alumnus has requested me, he lost his ring, it was given to him 1976. He lost his ring, okay? But he want to have the same ring once again back. But it is a laborious exercise for us, but we can't do it so easily. But that is the spirit, and that is the sentimental attachment that alumnus is having even after 30 years also. Therefore, don't think that it is simple aluminum ring. It is ringing in the minds of everybody throughout the life. That is the greatness of this ring. Okay, then coming to the second point, see, as Dr. Jagannath Naik told, he hinted already, see, you have come with a lot of efforts, and your parents have put sweat and blood to get you and to put you in this institute. All of you should know this fact. What I am telling is so many lectures, so many things, so many rosy aspects of institute is described here. All those rosy aspects may not be of direct use to you. Okay? All these things we can tell. This is our... Hello? Who is talking there? See, no talking. If you are talking, you should go outside. See, this is the attitude I am telling. This is the attitude of the students. They do not have any seriousness. If you want to talk, you can go outside. See, the whole institute, especially Dean SW office, left no stones unturned to make this program a successful, meaningful one. But this is the attitude of the students. The day one starts. That's what I am explaining all these things. Why this declination in your performance taking place means this is the reason. Because there is no accountability. Now you are out of the hold of your parents. There is no fear. Because you will behave in the way you want. That is why all students who are equally credited, equally qualified, have taken entry here. But some students are going bad, then to worst. Why that happens? Because what I am telling is, with the responsibility I am telling, that is what I am telling is, your parents, you are everything to them. Even one student, parent also is of concern to me. That's why each student is of our concern. Because they put their sweat and blood in bringing up you. They put in our hand. It is our moral responsibility to treat you as our kids. It is there. That obligation we are working. Either it is the hostel administration or as Dean's SW office, we never treat you as a student. We treat you as our own kids. There is one famous statement that so it goes, it's like this. If the man leaves his lust aside, every woman is a mother. If the man leaves his lust aside, every woman is a mother. Same way, if I leave the ego of a teacher aside, every student, you are our kids. That is the responsibility with which we are working. In your utter state, we are also responding to you. We become all possible, we give all possible help to students. It is with that spirit, Dean SW office, or maybe the Chief Warden Director, Dr. Pushparaj Shetty, he is here, he is the Chief Warden. He is of the same mentality as our Dean SW office is having. When that is the level of work we are doing for you, how can you take deviation from that? And we are answerable to your parents. Because parents, you see, as Dr. Jagannath Naik told, and parents are in their friend circle, while talking, they cite that my son is there in NITK. And you are there, what is called visiting cards. You are their visiting cards. You are their hopes of life. You are everything to them. After coming to NITK, you came as a precious pearl to NITK. If you turn into stone, who is responsible? It is happening. Out of experience I am telling, that is experience I am experiencing, that should not happen. You should come how you have come. You should go as you have come. That morality, that responsibility is on our head. That's what I am telling. Rearing the parrot, giving to the hands of eagle, we don't want. We don't want to do it. We want you, how with what color, flying color you taken admission in NITK, the same way you should go. Even 1% student fail also, it is pinching to me and it is pinching to all of us. Because that parent put everything on them. Because nowadays 1 or 2 kids, no. Only 1 or 2 kids. If your life is going bad after coming to NITK, who is responsible? With that morality, with that responsibility, with that commitment, we are working and we are taking your welfare. Okay, here and there some shortcomings may be there. I won't say everything is perfect. It is a government institute, and where there are certain limitations. Go and get type of things we can't do. Even for 1,000 rupees purchase also, you have to have 3 quotations. These are the limitations we have here. Therefore, things are not as smooth as they are in private institutes. It is the one thing you should know. Anyway, coming back to this point, see, as already told, where the things start going wrong, or the circuit is get short-circuited, these are the points. Okay? And do not know, eventually it starts. All these things, as I told, see here, drinking liquor, smoking, chewing, nightlight parties, entering campus in a drunken state, possession of alcohol beverages. At some of you, it may look very awkward and very new, but it is there. With pain, I am telling, it is there. You all have come with good mentality, good background, good hopes, good dream, good desire. Everything is good. But here, there are certain things which are there. Therefore, that's what I'm telling. It is very essential for you to be here where things are possible, where things are going wrong. Okay? I request you, all of you, to remain away from this type of activities. Don't, because one thing you take from me, let the thing be any bad, any adverse situations. So long you are correct, nobody can do anything for you. If you show little inclination, that inclination 10 plus 10 becomes 20, 20 becomes 100 one day. This is what it happened. Therefore, don't give any scope for any sort of such dilution in your spirit, for whatever reason. Okay? And then, okay, there are like things, you can see that don't get into religion. These are all secondary. They are not that important. Please do not get into digital addiction. See, boys, see, as some of the parents told that my son is bored from 4 months or from 6 months, and he want to eagerly going to attend the classes. Okay? I agree that most of the students, more than 50% students, will go out from this institute in the same spirit with which they joined this institute. That I appreciate. More than 70% students will go without any consideration. Whatever the 10% remain, what is the fate of their parents? That is the most bothering part for me. Not only to me, to all my colleagues. Because we are not wanting anything from you. Your prosperity is our point. We are not partner of your properties. Your brother may be the partner, but not the partner of that. Okay. We are not part of that, I want to tell you. And anyway, one more thing is, please do not get into the digital, that's what I want to tell that. Digital gambling. That has become very common menace in the institutes like this. Okay, the boy who has just got out from the clutches of his parents, he is staying in hostel, he is not going to class. He start playing this one. And he spent a lot of money, so many other things are there. Therefore, see, the students, please think once, at least once about your parents. That pain I know, as a chief warden, as a warden, and as a dean SW. There are many, what is called heart-touching stories are there. There are many heart-touching stories. Okay? That should not come in your life. That's what this orientation program is. Okay, forget about all this high-end technical aspect, other things. But if you do not do the minimum thing in your life, it is a great distress to everybody. There is one thing, the house may be any wealthy, any posh, any luxurious it may be. If all kids are sleeping up to 10 o'clock, what is the use? What is the use of such a luxury house? Same way I am telling, institute, legacy, glory, that standard and that rank and everything is fine. Unless you work, what is the use? What do you achieve out of that? That's what I am alerting you from the deep of my heart. What I am speaking is not just a words, it is the voice of my inner heart. That's what I am telling to you. Okay, last point is here, ragging aspect. Dr. Jagannath Naik narrated it very nicely. Just one point I want to say. Ragging is not an issue at all. As he has already claimed that NITK is a zero ragging. But ragging is not an issue at all. Okay? Because the student who is ragging, who is being ragged, both are busy in their mobile. It is a fact. Both are busy in their mobile, therefore there is no fear for ragging. I can assure you there is no ragging. But other aspect of the different form of ragging may be there, that is subsequent of this one. Okay? The egoism, I am a senior, you are junior, something like that. That comes only in the higher end of your semesters. Not higher end, toward the higher semesters. Toward the higher semester. But as such, you can relax from that one. Anyway, our Pushparaj Shetty and his team, they are doing excellent job. They are already teamed up to have a close observation and vigilance, not to have any sort of such illegal practices at NITK hostels. And they have made a team. And all young wardens are there. They are all been instructed to have a strict action against them. Therefore, more than anything, there is a well-established setup is there in the institute. Dean SW office is there, warden is there, and chief warden is there. Any point, if you get one small tinge of ragging, you no need to do anything. You drop one email. That will take care of everything. Therefore, in the name of ragging, don't scratch your brain. Don't worry about such things. You concentrate on your work. Okay, that's what I am taking you to tell. Therefore, ragging aspect can be made nil. Okay? Coming to the second point, we are proud of our students. That's why always I tell, we are very proud of our students. Okay? One common quotation I always quote, that I utter here, American roads are good, not because America is rich. America is rich because of good roads. What I want to relate here is, NITK students are good, not NITK is great. NITK is great because of good students. That's what such best of best students we are getting. We are getting best of best students. See, you take, sometime they may prefer NITK Suratkar is leaving some IIT also. What credential NITK is having? What is the legacy NIT is having? That legacy I also don't know. Okay, there is a muscat. It is sniffing everywhere about the smell, where it comes from. That smell is within itself. Same way, NITK legacy is within ourselves. It is not only for you, it is to we faculty members also. Wherever we go to outside, all this time, in your case also, all this time, you talked about NITK, no? Now, NITK will speak about you and your parents. That is the greatness of NITK. And that particular legacy and the pomp and the victory, you can always carry with you. That is the speciality of NITK. Therefore, I have a pride to be the faculty in this NITK and to be the Dean SW to take care of the student welfare of the students of NITK. With that legacy, all things will go to the backbench. With that legacy we are living. That is the tonic for us to work more and more. Okay, then another point is, we may scold, but we never neglect you. It is our obligation also, because we have to scold. Your parents are not ready to up to this level without beating you, without scolding you. Therefore, when we have a right to take care of you, we have a right to scold you. That always I claim, we have a right to scold you. But that scolding is not to damage you, it is to improve you. Okay, then the scold student for reason, but we love you for no reasons. It is my common statement I always give. Because we scold you for some reason, definite solid reason is there. But we love you for no reasons. Only reason is that they are our students. Okay? Then take part in different clubs, no doubt, because club provides a platform to every individual to mix up with people, to develop your personality, and to come out from different ideas, different thoughts, different innovations, all those things. Clubs are really good. Okay? It gives an all-round personality to you. Therefore, just one thing you remember that you be everywhere. You be, if you want to be in all clubs, everything will be at the cost of your studies. Because studies should be in the front line. All these things should come as a pickle in the meals. But pickle should not be the meals. You remember. Okay? It should be like a pickle. It should be just give a flavor to your personality, but don't spend your entire time in the name of clubs and all. Okay? Therefore, if you want to be there everywhere, at the end of the year, you will be nowhere. That should not happen. Okay? One other point is our director's vision, especially Professor B. Ravi is our present director, as all of you know. He is having a well-defined vision about this institute. Whatever this time orientation program is started, it is started by himself. And we see the title in which he has put. They are so fantastic and so appealing. Therefore, unfortunately, students have not taken the full benefit of that. Many learned people, learned professors who have done their whole life research, they presented their things. Okay, some of the things I can understand, some computer and some hardcore electronics, some nanomaterials, all these things may not impress you much, but nothing wrong in hearing to them. That's what you are meant for. You are supposed to be here for the same reasons. And therefore, that part is little paining to me every now and then. See, out of 1,100 students, hardly 150 students are here. Then whom all this setup, this arrangement, everything is to whom? Okay. Coming to with that mindset, he has done. At the same time, as I already told, 7,000 students are staying in this hostel, the hostel. It is a residential campus. 7,000 students are there. It is spread over some more than 20 hostels. Here and there, some shortcomings may be there. But with the available resources, our chief warden, Dr. Pushparaj Shetty and his team, they try their best. As I already told, within the available resources, what best they can do, they always give. That is the assurance I can give. I am confident that they are giving. Okay, certain things, as I told, it's a government institute. We can't do everything as it is done in private institute because it is a heterogeneous system. All class of students having 20,000 rupees monthly income till 2 lakhs rupees income. Or some business people may be still richer than that. Okay, under that circumstance, we have to have one common scale. Accordingly, we are working. Therefore, there is nothing to doubt about the workmanship and the efficiency and the facilities as far as concerned in hostel. Nothing to worry. Anyway, you have their own mechanisms to bring any changes through your representatives. Okay, okay, I will. Okay, NITK is I know why all of you are here. NITK is here to say that it's a paradise for campus placement because of this is the most important thing. And here we are in a place of your parent. That's what I am telling. We all teachers, and we plant seeds that grow forever. Therefore, we plant the seeds to grow forever. The teaching profession is the profession which is the mother of all profession. That happiness we have. And then, this is also another famous statement by Rabindranath Tagore, that is to say, the man who planted the trees on the roadside, knowing that in my lifetime I take shade out of it, then still he plants, no, that is the gratitude of life. What I am telling here is, I know none of you give any sort of benefit to us. Any sort of benefit. Okay? Still we are doing, no, that is the reward of our professional life. That's what teachers are put in the highest pedestal of the society. With that theme, with that objective, we are working. That is the satisfaction to us. And then coming to see, as I already told, the potter man is making pots. Okay? He is patting from the top. At the same time, he is holding that clay through his hand. Okay? What it is visible to you is, he is patting from the top here, but nobody understands that he is protecting that part from the inside. That's what we teachers are doing. We may blame, we may scold, but we are protecting your interest. Therefore, you are just like a clay, you have come to the institute. Okay, that clay is turned into pot. This is the transformation time where some such changes, such tuning, such guidance is very much required. That's what we are doing. And okay, I always appreciate students' life because my student life, in anybody's life, student life is the best life, no doubt in it. Okay, I always relate students to birds, free birds flying high in the sky. You should be like that. You should enjoy your student life, no doubt in it. As far as student, as far as birds, as far as students, as far as the freedom of the student and birds are concerned, there is a line here. Birds are flying because they take themselves very lightly. Yes, students can take yourself lightly. At the same time, second line you read, birds are flying because they take their responsibility very seriously. Okay, therefore you should fly high in the sky with the lightness and also with the goal or the responsibility. That's what I want to say. Therefore, as I already told, NITIC is a place for everything. It is a place for everything, but keep your responsibility always, okay, in mind. And you should read the goal that tomorrow it should give a sweet memories to you, nothing to repent. Because unfortunately, some students, at least 5% students, go with the unfortunate note while going out from the NITIC. This part I am not telling, I am not hiding the fact. Why that happens? Therefore, that 5%, even 1% also, let it not be yours. That's what I am telling. Okay? And another thing, see, it is a nice statement. When road is beautiful, one should think about the goal. When goal is beautiful, nothing to worry about the road. Let it go. Let the water problem may be there in the hostel. Let the some problem may be in the room. Something wrong with your hostel room or in the latch of your door. All these things. You forget it. Keep it to the back bench. Your goal is to concentrate on your studies and doing the best part. Sir, 5 minutes, shall I take with your permission? Okay. Okay, this is the key point to your success. See, you came with the sufficient credentials. You have not come from street, or you have not come from out of the influence of some minister or something like that. All of you have verified, checked, and then it have taken the entry. If it is possible up to this level, why it is not possible to the subsequent years? Reason is, I told the reason, no? What is that? But the number that this galaxy is full on the first day. Now this is of this number. This changes you just to visualize. What is the reason? Okay, one more analogy I want to give. You are coming to enter the campus on the day of admission by putting hand on the back of your mother here. After 4 years, what happened? No? You are going out from this institute by putting the same hand on the back of your girlfriend. This transformation is going to happen. This transformation at what cost? Transformation is natural. It can't be stopped. But you should keep that sense of responsibility always in your mind. Okay, after 30 years, everybody will get married. Nothing wrong in it. It is a natural call. It should be. At the same time, all those things should not be at the cost of your studies here. That's what I am telling. Okay, one more thing. Okay, it is a beautiful picture because you are the marble, you are the statue. The marble, to get converted into statue, you have to hammer yourself. You have to work for yourself. Whatever the dull marble was there, it is getting converted into an appealing statue. Therefore, in these 4 years of time, you need to change from marble to statue. The transformation we want to see in you, in each of you. I told you that 1% is also important to me because 1% is the hope of your family. It is the dream of their parents. It is the life of their parent. Your 1% also should not go wrong. Okay, if you are lagging, getting less mark is okay. That I am not telling all of you should get equal mark. That is not my concern. That is not my logic at all. What I am telling is, whatever with utmost effort, if it is possible, you do. With your utmost effort also, if it is not possible, forget. It is not your cup of coffee. You go to somewhere else and do where you can excel. That is also fine, nothing wrong. But don't be a burden to your parents later, and they should not come to us, the dean's office, saying that my son is now so and so, so and so, so and so. Okay? By that time, you have traveled the distance, you can't come back. That is another story. You have traveled the distance so long that you can't come back. Here, everything is got over. Okay, then, see, that's what I am telling. All of you are here. Okay? That is to say, on a mark, set, go. From Monday, 2nd of September, you will be put on the mark, you will be allowed to run. Who is winning the race? They are the winner. That's what I am telling. Last slide maybe. Important tips to get success. Be regular to your class. Okay? That so many reasons not required. Don't simply sleep at room idly. That is the starting point of your downfall. That is the starting point of your downfall. That lead to so many unwanted activities like playing in the mobile, all these things, stealing somebody's money, all these things. See, there are many stories behind the screen. That all those things I have not told here. But these are all possible things. Not possible things, happen things. Okay? Second is have a habit of noting down points in the classroom. That is a good habit. That benefits you in two ways. One is into keeping you engaged. Another one is to recollect what it is told. Okay? Do not attach too much to your mobiles. Therefore, the first enemy of this institute is our mobile. Okay, about which I no need to say separately. Take every day as an exam day. Because our system is having continuous evaluation. Therefore, you have to treat every day as an exam day. Therefore, if such a competitive way, if you work, if you study, success will be yours. Okay, then be in contact with parents. As our Dr. Jagannath Naik told, see, you should have a gentle embracement with your parents. That really gives happiness. Okay, that also it tunes your commitment. Therefore, always have contact. At least once in a day, you call your parents. That prompts you. By not sitting in some hotels. Okay, sitting in your room or library, call your parents. How are you and everything? What is my study? All these things you should have to discuss. Do not lend to go to home frequently. Try to keep good CGPA at lower semesters. That is the basic thing you should have. You joined NITK with a purpose. Be focused on that. After your parents, you are first person to feel proud in your future endeavors. That's what I am telling from my heart. Therefore, after your parents, next person is your teacher to celebrate it. Your neighbors may get annoyed with you, but we feel proud. See, some people are calling from somewhere, sir, I am here in that university, this university. For a teacher, any reward is required more than that. That's what we will be feeling happy to accept them and to appreciate them. We pray the God to give many more such students like that. With these words, I think it is over. I told some of the things which are directly from my heart, which is the richest experience what I gained in my past 29 years at NITK. I put 29 years. Okay, my experience is very vast. My attachment, my affiliation to student is unquestionable. That's what I myself I can claim that. I always, even in your dream, if you come also, we have a helping hand. So for so long I am dean, I am with you. You'll see, it is our responsibility to take the welfare of students. Okay, ragging and everything you forget. Focus on your studies and be regular to the class and try to have good CGPA to begin with. Then it will take care of everything. I wish all of you to go from this NITK after 4 years with the flying colors to bring laurels to your parents, to your institute, and to your teachers. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir, for your piece of advice to the young minds and 2024 admit BTech students. Now I request all the students to please raise. I request Professor A.C. Hegde to administer the anti-drug abuse pledge. Request all the students who are inside the auditorium as well as wherever they are, please stretch your right hand. I request Professor A.C. Hegde to administer the pledge of anti-drug abuse in English.
Let them come.
I request students to please come forward where there are empty places. Please come forward. Come forward. Dear students, those who are sitting in the back rows, please come forward. I request Professor A.C. Hegde, Dean Student Welfare, to administer the pledge to the newly admitting students in English. Afterwards, Associate Dean Professor Rekha Bhatt will be administering the pledge in Kannada. And last, I myself will be administering the pledge in Hindi. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. I request all students to stretch your right hand, and you have to read as I read from here. The title is like this. You need not to utter this one. Say yes to life, no to drugs. With this ambition, we are taking pledge. It reads as this. We realize that drug abuse is increasing in our country, especially among the youth. And this is a matter of concern. We pledge that we will cooperate in stopping the drug abuse. We promise that we will not consume any harmful or illegal drugs in the way for any purpose. We will create awareness about the ill effects of drug abuse by encouraging every person, especially the youth, so that youth of India can live drug-free and they can become creative and important members of the society. Today, we pledge that we will stay away from the drug and live healthy life. Jai Hind.
Yeah, I request Associate Dean Professor Rekha Bhatt to administer the pledge in Kannada. Over to you, madam.
Thank you. Please repeat whatever I say. ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾದಕ ದ್ರವ್ಯ ಸೇವನೆಯು ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ಯುವಜನರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚುತ್ತಿದೆ ಎಂದು ನಾವು ಅರಿತುಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಇದು ಕಳವಳಕಾರಿ ವಿಷಯವಾಗಿದೆ. ಮಾದಕ ದ್ರವ್ಯ ಸೇವನೆಯನ್ನು ತಡೆಯಲು ನಾವು ಸಹಕರಿಸುತ್ತೇವೆ ಎಂದು ಪ್ರತಿಜ್ಞೆ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೇವೆ. ನಾವು ಯಾವುದೇ ಉದ್ದೇಶಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಹಾನಿಕಾರಕ ಅಥವಾ ಕಾನೂನು ಬಾಹಿರ ಔಷಧಿಗಳನ್ನು ಸೇವಿಸುವುದಿಲ್ಲ ಎಂದು ನಾವು ಭರವಸೆ ನೀಡುತ್ತೇವೆ. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ಯುವಕರನ್ನು ಪ್ರೋತ್ಸಾಹಿಸುವ ಮೂಲಕ ಮಾದಕ ವ್ಯಸನದ ದುಷ್ಪರಿಣಾಮಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಜಾಗೃತಿ ಮೂಡಿಸುತ್ತೇವೆ. ಇದರಿಂದ ಭಾರತದ ಯುವಕರು ಮಾದಕ ವ್ಯಸನ ಮುಕ್ತರಾಗಿ ಬದುಕಬಹುದು ಮತ್ತು ಅವರು ಸಮಾಜದ ಸೃಜನಶೀಲ ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ರಮುಖ ಸದಸ್ಯರಾಗಬಹುದು. ಇಂದು ನಾವು ಮಾದಕ ದ್ರವ್ಯಗಳಿಂದ ದೂರವಿದ್ದೇವೆ ಮತ್ತು ಆರೋಗ್ಯಕರ ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ನಡೆಸುತ್ತೇವೆ. ಎಂದು ಪ್ರತಿಜ್ಞೆ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೇವೆ. ಜೈ ಹಿಂದ್.
Now I request a student to repeat in Hindi. हमें एहसास है कि हमारे देश में विशेष रूप से युवाओं के बीच नशीली दवाओं का दुरुपयोग बढ़ता जा रहा है और ये चिंता का विषय है. हम शपथ लेते हैं कि हम नशीली दवाओं के दुरुपयोग की रोकथाम में सहयोग करेंगे. हम यह वचन देते हैं कि किसी भी प्रयोजन के लिए किसी भी प्रकार से हानिकारक अथवा अवैध पदार्थों का सेवन नहीं करेंगे. हम प्रत्येक व्यक्ति विशेषतः युवाओं को प्रोत्साहित करते हुए नशीली दवाओं के दुष्प्रभावों के संबंध में जागरूकता पैदा करेंगे ताकि भारत का युवा वर्ग नशा मुक्त जीवन यापन कर सके और वे समाज के रचनात्मक एवं महत्वपूर्ण सदस्य बन सके. आज हम प्रतिज्ञा करते हैं कि नशे से दूर रहेंगे और स्वस्थ जीवन यापन करेंगे. जय हिंद. Be seated. Now I request, we are at the fag end of the 11 days orientation program of first year BTech. Huh? No. Please be seated, all the students. Now I request Professor Pawan Kumar, who is a professor of School of Humanities, Social Science and Management, and at presently he is also working as Associate Deans of Students' Welfare. I request Professor Pawan Kumar to propose the vote of thanks. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, it is indeed a great honor to conclude the UG orientation program for the year 2024-25 batch. For the past 2 weeks, we have embarked on a journey of learning, engagement, and exploration that would not have been possible without the collective efforts of many individuals. First and foremost, I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to Professor B. Ravi, Director of NITK Surathkal, for his unwavering leadership and guidance. Sir, your vision and dedication have laid the foundation for success for this program. Thank you. My heartfelt thanks to our Deputy Director, Professor Subhash Aragal, and all the deans who played pivotal roles throughout the program. A special mention goes to Professor A.C. Hegde, Dean Students Welfare, for ensuring that the welfare of our students was the forefront of every activity we designed. Your coordination and planning and dedication had paved path for the success of this program. Thank you, sir. I would also like to acknowledge the contribution of Registrar, Mr. K. Ravindranath, and all associate deans, especially Dr. Rekha Bhatt, for coordinating throughout the event. And she was the instrumental in making this event run smoothly. The success of this program would not have been possible without the support of our heads of the departments, heads of the centers. Thank you for welcoming the students to your departments and showcasing the wealth of knowledge and facilities that NITK has to offer to our students. I must also express my appreciation for the Chief Warden and other assistant registrars, A special appreciation goes to resident engineer and his team for the tireless efforts behind the scenes, ensuring that everything runs like clockwork. They deserve our thanks for their significant contributions. Our SAC officers, Dr. Manoj, Dr. M. Prasad, truly deserve special recognition for their uncompromising efforts throughout the event. They were available 24/7 for the entire duration of the event to see that no unwanted incidents take place and for a perfect coordination among the various activities. Thank you, Dr. Manoj, as well as Dr. Him. A thanks goes to Professor in charge, especially Dr. Srinivas Raukola, for being with us all the time whenever the need was felt. I'm also grateful to the security officer, Mr. Ram Prasad Bhatt, and the entire security team for ensuring the safety and security of everyone involved in the program. To all the faculty members of NITK, thank you for your invaluable contributions during the orientation. Your commitment to nurturing these young minds is deeply appreciated. I would also like to thank our distinguished invited speakers for sharing their knowledge and experience with our students. Your words have left a lasting impact on their minds. We convey special thanks to Yakshagana team, Puppet Show team, Mind Magic team for making this event fun-filled. We sincerely thank Pillikula Nisargadhama administration for hosting our students. The entire NITK staff, including Mr. Puja, Mrs. Puja, Mr. Tinu from Dean SW office, thank you for your hard work and dedication. Our thanks to the caterers for ensuring that everyone was well fed and comfortable throughout the program. Your service added to the warmth and hospitality that NITK is known for. A heartfelt thanks to the parents who joined us during the program, and probably they might also be watching this online. Your support and encouragement mean the world to us and to your children, who are now part of NITK family. A special mention goes to the students themselves, our beloved students. Your enthusiasm and eagerness to learn have been the driving force behind this program. You are the reason we are here, and your success is our greatest reward. Finally, I want to acknowledge and thank many individuals who work behind the scenes, whose names might not have been mentioned here, but whose contributions are invaluable. Your efforts have not gone unnoticed. In conclusion, I would like to apologize if I have missed mentioning anyone. Please know that your efforts are recognized and deeply appreciated. Thank you all once again for making this orientation program a grand success. Together, we set the stage for a bright and promising future for our students. Jai Hind. Thank you, one and all. May I kindly request Dean SW sir to offer a memento to Professor Darshak Trivedi. Thank you, sir. Yes, the program is concluded. Thank you, one and all.
So as we conclude this orientation program, students, please be seated. As we conclude this orientation program, let us carry forward the enthusiasm and knowledge we have gained here over past 11 days. Together, we will strive to make this academic year a memorable and successful one. Thank you all for being here and for your continuous support. Here is to a fantastic start to a new chapter. Wish you all the best. May God bless you all. I request all of you to please raise for the national anthem. I request Dr. Manoj to lead us the national anthem.
Yes, students, group attention. जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे बोलो भारत माता की जय बोलो भारत माता की जय बोलो भारत माता की जय.
Now I request all the faculties and students to immediately come on the stage to have one snap together. All the students, those who are inside the auditorium, please come fast on the stage. You can come from the left-hand side and right-hand side both, please.
They can kneel down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm busy.
Please, I request students to be seated in the front so we can accommodate all of them. Please. No, you can sit. Okay. Please, please. Right. Please, go front. You can go by 30. Hello, please go front. You can sit. Please come fast, students. Come, go front. You can have a seat. Please. Go front. Side. The batches which are going pellicula trip today are supposed to report at 1:45 in front of the main building.